the other group that was all them.
Mm-hmm. That's when she hopped in. So we're back at school after all this, and just like, thank the faculty, because like, we're just like, none of us, we're all from different kind of cliques, but we're just like in the know. That bonded us, and we're just trying to.
Everybody was temporarily insane on campus.
Yeah, almost killed my sister. They fed me poison cake.
I was told that.
Yeah.
He killed his cousin.
I killed my cousin. I heard my cousin.
I shot an unarmed mother of a child
Yeah,
who appeared out of thin air, blocking the way to the guy we were trying to kill.
Yeah, just I killed his
That
friend. He
character's
killed
still
me.
not convinced that she was a real
And then he get
person.
caught. I killed other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And then,
The entire science
everybody
lab team got killed.
everybody got brought in by Federated oil
And everybody who'd gone on that trip with us come back, and they got like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They had their brains pretty much taken out and replaced. We started figuring that out through their personalities and stuff, and then they just pretty much showed us like, look, I pulled their hair back, and it was like they're like thin down or something. It was just like, you could tell
Everybody that was affected was acting like almost the complete opposite of what their actual personality was.
They weren't the same person.
So a couple basic questions that help when you're trying to summarize a campaign. To you folks, who are the good guys?
Well, we think we're the good guys, but doesn't everyone?
That's fine.
You know? Like even the villain.
I don't have answers to these questions.
Yeah,
They're for you
we're the
folks.
good guys.
Okay, so who are the bad guys?
Amigo.
Yeah, those guys.
The pod people.
Amigos and the pod.
Who are the ones?
The
Who are
children of the Black Pharaoh.
who are the groups that you don't know if they're good or bad?
FOC, Federated Oil.
They're the ones that took us off in a limo and
An oil company?
partied with us.
And gave us full access to whatever we
And then they sent us to Canada where I had to seduce a hobo.
Yeah.
And here's
If they're an oil company, they're bad.
a big
We don't know yet.
Here's a big one. I don't have an answer for this question. I want to hear, what are the motives of bad guys? What are they here for? What are they doing? And I don't know is a good question. I don't know is a good answer.
Food.
I mean, if Amigo, they're here to take our planet.
That's assuming the Amigo are the only ones.
Are these aliens or are these like
We
Cthulhu
don't-
We don't know
creatures?
yet.
They're
Cthulhu creatures are technically.
Yeah, Amigo are aliens. They're from Pluto, basically.
Have you seen any Amigo?
We don't know it's Pluto yet. Pluto hadn't been discovered.
we've
never been shown yet.
We've seen the mummy.
Yeah, we heard one on the recording.
Yeah.
They played a recording for
We've
us.
seen it desiccated.
Yeah.
You've seen another one, but I'll leave you folks to remember where that was. Yeah, no, that's
I
not a
wasn't here
spoiler.
that week.
Yeah, the one
You
you
might-
Because I remember when you were describing it, was like it's kind of like that thing you saw before. Okay. We actually have.
But yeah, they sent us to Canada to look into some stuff that sounded suspicious and like Amigo behavior, and it turned out to just be this crazy priest dude that was cutting people's brains out of cuts. And had to seduce a hobo to get them.
What's the name of the town that all this activity took place in?
Cobb's
Okay, who do you remember from Cobb's Farms? Just thought name. Give me a description.
Deputy, I don't know.
Yeah.
That should
Yeah.
be
that one in the
that
sheriff.
that if I had better aim, he would be half a person.
And to kind of speed it up, you guys did stay in a farmhouse.
Yeah.
It was previously owned by a gentleman. Anyone remember who he was or about him?
His wife died.
But what about him?
He's a drunk,
He's
right?
the drunk.
He's the
drunk.
drunk.
Oh, that
And he's the
Sheriff's
sheriff's
brother-in-law.
Yeah.
He's a sheriff's brother. He's a
Well,
town drunk.
because he was like a town hard case or something, right? And she had he found love. So he was a good guy for a while, and then she died, and then it was like,
No.
Yep.
Farmhouse was really not so great condition. Out in the middle of nowhere too. That's where
Yeah.
And then last but not least, very briefly, tell Ivy about your adventures in the woods. In the farmhouse.
I
I
went
had
there,
bad times with the woods and calling Cthulhu.
We
oh man, I had actually a pretty good
Met some
time.
super
We
cool
did.
squirrels.
I don't remember half that stuff, you know.
yeah.
And then a rhino with a squid for a horn instead of
But you
a
saved us.
horn.
I saved the
And
whole
he
group from that.
saved us from
So where did you go in the woods?
By accident.
No,
Where did you go in the woods?
We eventually ended up in a clearing where there was a guy sticking through some rocks with his top of his head kind of missing with some weird apparatus, and he spoke to
Right.
one of
Right.
our dearly departed friends,
Yeah.
in their mind,
Ooh, I
and
love
pointed
that.
us to a cabin in the woods. Ooh. Where we found two demon-looking guys, goat people.
And that's all that happened.
Eating
No.
Like satyrs or
No.
No, like full-on, like turn, almost like a minotaur, honestly, but goat.
My character didn't see
Demon
any of this
Baphomet.
because I was with the other group, but somehow all got turned to pod people, but I didn't.
And they got their asses kicked. We found a
Politicians
woman.
of Christmas
No one
things
fainted,
that-
and we left.
They were torturing a girl beneath the
Yeah.
place.
And
They're out.
and somebody had an invisible party.
Yeah, we're skipping over that. Anyways, we got her out, but when we got back, something had happened at the house itself, like where we were staying. There was blood everywhere. And a case of alcohol. The cops showed up, we got caught with it. They're trying to take us in. Someone threw an axe at them, pissed them off.
I stealthily hid out the door and hid behind it.
Mist
Where I saw
closed
a
in.
giant wall of fog with hot pink, like worm things in it, and fog tentacles sticking out.
It's like a really bad rave.
It was around that time
Bad
where our
trip, bad
Cyclops
trip.
guy revealed himself to be 100% in league with these things.
Yeah.
Before it was like, is he? Isn't he? Maybe? Who knows? Maybe there are two of them, but no.
And which guy was this?
Blaine.
Yeah.
I was expecting.
He lost my freaking face!
Yeah,
Does it
just
say anything
play.
missing now?
No, he's dead.
Dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Blew his brains
He
out.
blew his brains out. Anyways,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, that
got
was the
back to
week I went
college.
here when you needed me for the library.
We got back
I
to
know.
college in disgrace because, well, we got caught with alcohol. And, they thought we were doing some weird satanic shit. Whatever.
I'm just walking around with these people going, I'm not with them.
Anyways, the students who started acting weird, started poking around campus, asking for access to a specific part of the library. We tried to do the same, to no avail.
Section of the library.
Yes, there was a section. Regardless,
Unfortunately, none of us are
basically,
Hermione Granger.
after a while, we managed to follow them to a meeting they made. They briefly spoke of something. We weren't 100% sure yet, but it was we're going to do this, meet up at this time. And basically, the next day, we tailed the cafeterias thinking they were going to put something in the food. We watched one of the pod people go in and disappear. Like, we ran in behind them, they were gone. A couple hours later, everyone on campus who ate any food that came out of those cafeterias for dinner.
They had a cake made for their brother and sent to them, and
And they gave me a piece just to be like, yeah, Flash will eat it. He'll eat anything. And I did.
And somebody else is not here tonight. They
They went nuts. Everybody
they
went
started eating
bonkers.
the
You almost
cake
killed me.
after we followed the one in, being like, oh, this is so
And I
wonderful.
did
And
kill
to cover
He's
their
still
butts.
developing
Hey,
right now.
guys,
They went crazy.
Guys, we're trying to keep it truncated.
So can I sum up the rest really quick?
Yeah, sure,
That's
go
pretty
ahead.
much it.
Bad reputation with the town they were in. Bad reputation with the university. The university erupted in mass chaos because people were mind controlled. After it was over with, the old company showed up and cleaned everything up, employed the adventurers to work for them. And before they went back to Cops Corners, they got detoured up to Canada, met a crazy priest, and now they're coming back and they're having a party. That's the short version.
Okay.
I'm trying to use like a
Just
semi-detailed
so-
but truncated.
Just
like,
so
every time
everybody
I got to
knows
anything.
what I'm good
Yeah,
at.
yeah,
It's
you
like,
gotta
but
keep it
Does anybody want to know
succinct.
what I'm good
No.
at? That way they know why I'm useful. Okay, so firearms are decent, intimidate's pretty good, Latin's extremely good, language own is really good, library use is okay, occult is extremely good, psychology's pretty dang good, and spot hidden's pretty good, just so y'all know.
You're like the other half of my introverted goat nerd.
Yeah,
She
so
is.
you like team
Just from that
up,
description.
yeah. Part-
Literally,
that's
like-
cool.
Yeah.
Science, psychology, history, fast talk. Well, why didn't you use that last one?
Because you're not very you have it, but you're not good at it.
So a couple of quick questions so we get started. You guys are at the party. You're drinking.
And
I'm not.
Some of you, I'm going to need to know throughout, not right now, don't rush me out. But as we play, I'll need to know, there'll be questions that say who's intoxicated, who's not. That'll be important to me because some of you said that you are
Just these two.
somebody. Yeah,
I'm very.
you're
I'm
very.
glad you
very-
guys didn't like just volunteer me again. For something like, I'm glad I get to choose.
That's why I left it super open ended for you on the hobos thing, man.
And what was
Okay.
kind of the last thing that happened at the party itself?
The
Like,
place
The
went
lights
dark,
went out.
people
The
started
lights
shooting.
went out, and we headed up the hallway, and I
We were
managed to
screaming.
convince
Good
the guy
time.
to give me a gun after a full bottle of champagne by myself.
dang. Huh?
Nodens.
Nodens. Oh wow, that's a really uncommon Cthulhu deity. Wow, I did not know he was opposed to Nyarlathotep. That's interesting.
Yeah. He hunts him.
So-
Or he hunts his little apparitions.
So the lights are out.
Mm-hmm.
You are intoxicated. You've got a gun. Anything else I need to know? Because I wasn't here and I didn't. There's no recording, so I couldn't listen to last week's session.
Yeah, they gave.
For the record, I know didn't drink at all.
Yeah, he didn't drink,
Okay, so
I don't
one
think Flash will be there.
No, we got our father killed.
one quick thing. Everyone remember the windows? I'm assuming Frank described the windows of the house. What was the deal with the
The
windows?
blackout.
Yeah, so like that, nobody can see in or out.
So blackout on the windows. Lights just went out.
Well, it's
Effectively,
it's
the whole-
not blackout on the windows, but like a physical thing over the windows.
It's a blackout blind, is what it's called.
Okay.
That's the
Well,
term
it's-
for it. But just no light is the point.
Yeah.
So there's no light coming in the windows. There's no lights being produced in the building. It is absolutely totally pitch dark. But nothing else happened.
Oh, we heard screams.
Yeah, we heard
Ah,
screams.
who?
Yeah.
You recognize?
No, we didn't
We
recognize.
didn't
No,
recognize
that's
it.
where
We
we
were
were
kind of
headed.
sure already.
When it happened.
Yeah, we heard the scream. I was
so
over.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
leaving dude.
I didn't do my listen on this one.
Still a 20.
Okay.
That's not that much.
Now, and I guess I should ask this too. Where's Abelard? I don't know where you guys were in relation to Abelard.
He was in the room with us.
I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
honestly.
I don't know where Frank left off. So
Yeah, he was in. All of us were in the. He was in the
Literally, the
reception.
lights had just went out,
and we heard the
and
screams.
the security officer was like, "Hey, I got 2 extra guns. I don't need it. I got a knife."
He gave me one again.
So Abby, we're gonna have you join them as part of the party. Why was FOC throwing this party?
I guess to celebrate the
Like a kickoff
death
party.
of the mission.
I don't know.
I mean, I wasn't here last week, so I'm just guessing.
Oh, you I'm
Yeah.
not sure you weren't right.
It was almost like a kickoff party, if I remember correctly. Like, hey, we're about to make a major undertaking. Let's have some fun tonight, because from here on out, it's business.
Maybe tell Abby what the business is. I don't think she knows.
We're going back to Cops Corner.
So the team's being sent back to Cobb's Corner. This time, you're going with FOC's backing and money,
And-
essentially.
And weapons.
No, they're back. It's not just weapons. You're going to find out soon. There's a lot more to it. But
Well, obviously.
basically, FOC is funding the trip and directly being involved this time. Last time, they were told a company was organizing these, but this time, FOC is actually going to be traveling with you. Now, there were a couple NPCs who are with you. Does anyone remember who they were? They're going to be important.
There was the
Remember one
bodyguard
was
dude.
Morrison.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause he
Security
had my
guy.
name. I was like,
Security.
yeah, and he was like the
That's the
security
security
guy. Because Morrison's
He's the one I managed to convince to give me a gun while I'm
Yeah.
That's right, because we're cool.
I am a very middling ground hobby shooter.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of
It's
hand
not
wave
always
something
reasonable.
because you guys didn't mention it. Frank may have, and if he didn't, that's okay. The scream was female, and it was Selena Preston.
Okay.
And Selena Preston is the person who asked you guys to come to the party. So the light just boom went out. You hear Selena Preston scream, and you hear Abelard start to just like a sailor curse up and down at the power company, and you hear him. He's in a wheelchair, by the way. And, he's squeaking his wheels moving across the room, and he's muttering to himself about the power company, how they can't be trusted. And you hear him open a door, rattle around a few things, hear the strike of a match, and he lights a candle, and then he hands the candle to whoever will take it. He's starting handing candles that are lit and flashlights.
I'll pick a
Yeah, I
flashlight.
should have done that. I was gonna hold the candle.
I'm just pew-pewing at the air here.
All right, so
Like
you folks,
shadows.
everyone is in the room with the exception of Selena Preston.
Okay.
She is no longer in the room with you folks.
Well, will we be able to tell if that scream was male or female?
He just told us.
He
it
just
was.
gave us that.
Okay.
Yeah, it is definitely female, and it's definitely Selena Preston.
Oh, well, crap. We need to go save it.
Yeah. So Abelard is kind of trying to herd all the cats, and he says that He wants some of you to accompany Larry Neckler down to the basement where the fuse box is. He wheels over and picks up a telephone, clicks the receiver, slams it back down, furious, even more mad than before that now the phone company is not doing their job. First the power company, now the phone company, and the phone's dead. He asks who's going down to the basement with Larry Neckler. He wants 2.
He only wants 2 of us to go down there? Okay, well.
I will.
Okay, so he hands you a flashlight.
Give us any heat.
All right, I'll do it.
Hands you a flashlight as well. Says, come with me.
You guys sure you got it? I mean,
I got a candle and a flashlight. I'm ready.
you got a weapon?
So the room you folks were in, I don't know where left off, but I'm just going to start from where the adventure is, because I mean, Frank did a good job. I know he told me a lot of stuff, but I don't mind the details. So you gotta bear with me. So you guys are in the room with the door to the basement. It was locked. Murdoch opens the locks on the door, and Neckler says, "Come, follow me to the basement." Points to you two.
Okay.
Murdoch goes back over to Abelard's side. Murdoch is Abelard's Scottish bodyguard, by the way. Abelard. You guys know Abelard told you his life story, I think?
Yeah.
That's back when I was right.
Yeah.
Abelard is rich, head of the oil company. His wife died in childbirth, and his son was killed. And he's made it his life mission to hunt down the Migo. And that's why he's doing all this.
Migo killed his boy, right?
That's what he thinks. That's his suspicion. Is what he. So we're going to kind of play on you two for a bit, so everybody just kind of and listen. Okay, this is important. You want to pay. You want to know all this. So you two go downstairs, and as soon as you walk through the doorway, you two and everyone else in the room hear the screams resume, and they're coming from the basement.
Oh boy.
You didn't hear a gunshot, and a second gunshot, and the screams resume again. Neckler is kind of paused on the stairs of the basement. You guys are just like right at the top. And he's saying like, hold still. And then the screams stop. Let's go. So you go down, and the stairs lead down to another door, and it's slightly open. You two make a listen roll, please. Because I'm assuming you're listening. One is. Just you two, though.
I didn't make it.
No.
Okay. You hear some indeterminable sounds. You don't know what they are, but they are not screams of a female human. They are not. They're animalistic, more so than human. And the rest of the party won't hear that because they're not that loud. They're kind of like a deep guttural roar of some animal. So Neckler walks up to the door and he stands in front of it, and he says that I don't think this is the right way. We need to go to the other door to the basement. And he says, I'm going to stay here and guard this door and send you two back up the stairway.
Okay. I'll do the other.
Yeah.
So you go in the room and tell everyone what you just heard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We heard
Heard something.
We heard something. We're not sure. It was some kind of growly something.
Did Frank give you guys the floor plans, by the way?
So I'm included in where they're talking about explaining this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the room with everyone else.
Right.
So you were at the party. So the party was full force and the lights went out.
Well, then why don't you guys go to the other door of the basement?
Oh, good idea.
One thing I didn't. Did you guys get the floor plans?
He showed us.
Yeah.
But
He showed you. He gave it to you? I'm sorry. I'm assuming you guys need this. Let me just give it to you anyway, because there's an important part I wasn't verbally saying because I was assuming you guys had these. The staircases to the basement. You guys are not on the first floor. You're on the 5th floor, right? Okay. So imagine the door to the basement would eventually lead to the basement. It goes down like this. So like 4th floor, 3rd floor, 2nd floor. You guys made it to the 4th. And that door was slightly ajar. To get to the basement, you would have had to keep on going down the staircase. Make sense?
I'll head that way.
Do you want the floor plans, by the way? I can tear it out and give it to you guys. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we're gonna go down there, should we grab some weapons
I've
first?
I've got my weapons with me.
Well, at the party?
Yeah.
The only thing you can have at that party is a gun.
I couldn't
They
have
will
my
not let
gun.
you take the gun.
Oh man.
That's why I shot.
Did they actually like check everything on me though?
She has
Can
guns,
I-
she doesn't even.
Can I get my weapons first?
There are 2 guns
Who
between all of us
took
right
the
now.
weapons?
He's He's got
No,
one.
I got one.
Nate had one.
And I thought you had one too.
No.
Now they was
Well,
giving
that's
me
just my right.
even though he was sober than I
No,
was.
it's in your
But he had no skill.
Since I'm
Oh,
going
yeah,
this way,
right.
can I have your gun?
Jack here, man.
I'm trying to get fast for gun.
Wait, so where would my gun be?
Who took the guns? I don't know who took them last session.
We have the drunk.
You guys took your gun? Took everybody's gun?
No.
No.
It was implied that we were told to leave them upstairs and they checked us.
So where are the guns now?
Up there, where they left them.
So you don't have the
No,
guns.
security gave us 2 guns.
And who was security?
Murdoch.
Murdoch and
So you'd have to ask Murdoch.
Murdoch, can I get a gun?
He says that he has access to the guns right now.
Super.
Who has access to the guns?
Yeah.
I don't know where they left. I wasn't here last week. So you guys got time
I'm
to.
trying to remember.
It wasn't specified.
It was.
so they checked the
We
door.
weren't.
We weren't told exactly where they were, just.
Yeah, he just handed it to them.
So Murdoch took the guns and then left with them. You don't know where he went to, and then came back.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah, I had a moderate skill in handguns, so
I had to
if
tell them
he
there's no way
drunk,
they're
I'm a
getting my
better
knife
shot
off them.
than
That's it.
those of
Okay.
them, so I was basically told to
So I'm here
watch
trying to
out.
convince Flash we need to take the gun away from the drunk.
Well, I'm gonna assume the mine is probably in my room, and I'm going to go and get it. The thing is there in here? Okay.
Are
So
you
they're
good?
not
Are you
upstairs.
good with handguns?
It's a 40.
Is there anything around the room that I could use as like a club or something? I mean,
You have to break furniture to do it.
Oh well, I got my
Okay,
knife. It's fine.
Are you good with
Let's
handguns?
Murdoch and Abelard says, "Whoa, what are you doing? No,
Surviving.
go. My
we
knife is
need
fine.
some kind of defense.
you need to get to the basement, turn on the power.
And I will, but I want a weapon because I'm in fear for my life and the lives
there
of
a
others.
fire?
You're not destroying my furniture."
Is there a fireplace?
Wow.
Is there any?
Like,
Where
one
You have
that-
to safety of your own life.
Is it like old wrought iron lamps?
I will be safer if you get to the basement, turn the power on. You do not need to waste time tearing
Abby's
apart
gonna split the party and go to the other door to get to the
What is
basement.
down there? What do you have to
I
fight?
don't know, but I'm hearing a bunch of
I'm losing good
gunshots,
gunshots, you know, so whatever.
so I can't even have a bag.
Yeah, I'll smack someone with a flashlight if I have to.
I have my
I would
knife, I
walk
have my
outside.
dagger. I'm gonna go to the other
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, we're going down there. I got my gun, I'm a security guard.
So we can all go now, all of
I
us?
think if you guys before time.
Can I, when
Whoever
I
wants
walk out
to
of the
go.
room, find a desk or something on one of those floors and
In
take
the
one?
worst case scenario.
I'm sorry, guys. I want a weapon too.
Even with character, my character's decided on the side of caution, so I'm gonna be wherever Abelard is.
So Abelard and Murdoch are on the 5th floor. I gotta get the floor plans. You guys are triple tasking here. Might work out. Abelard and Murdoch on the 5th floor. Neckler is remaining at the door to the 4th floor that's slightly ajar, and he's standing there guarding it. He sent you guys back upstairs to get everyone to go downstairs while he guards that door. So I'm assuming you two came back in the room. You told everyone. Everyone's in the 5th floor room with Abelard and Murdoch. Abelard's saying, "Go now."
Let's start heading down there.
There are reasons why you need to turn on the power that you don't know about. Go. It's a direct command.
Yeah, well,
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you guys go down. As you go down the stairs, I'm assuming everyone's in the staircase, you see Neckler looking into the 4th floor door. He's cracked it open enough to put his head inside. He jerks back, slams the door. He's covered in a cold sweat, and he's trembling. And he just kind of slides down to the floor, sitting in a quivering heap.
What do you see?
Something's starting to bang on the door. Scratch at it, bang.
like, Nicola, look at me. We need to know what you saw.
Go now!
Okay, running. That's all I need. I just take off.
You guys see
That's
the
really
door
cool.
starting to give way behind Neckler. He's now propping himself up against it, holding
I
it
mean, I'll
back.
grab you, but I'm hauling ass.
Yeah. We're going.
You guys hear the gunshots increase in intensity. You don't hear the female scream, but you don't hear males.
Okay, go. Yeah.
We're running.
Yeah.
As you folks are running, as each of you run by the door going downstairs, from inside the door, you hear the sounds that are unmistakable of someone literally being torn apart.
Damn.
That's what
It's wet, sucking,
Yeah.
gross sounds.
I don't think she survived it.
The screams are timing right with the sounds of someone being torn apart. So you guys are just hauling ass down the staircase, going all the way down. All right. You guys make it all the way out to the basement. None of the other doors are open to the other floors.
Such a crush on her too.
When you went to the basement, the first thing you notice is the basement is in utter chaos. There's cables ripped, torn, pulled from the wall, fuse boxes lying on the ground, sparking. Something has just come in here and just destroyed everything inside.
Anybody got mechanical repair?
Yeah, you might have electrical repair. That would be the skill you need to do to repair this.
Can I roll for it just
Sweet
'cause?
10%.
What about auto?
It's something.
Is it mechanical in any
It's
way?
electrical.
Like, see if it been auto, if it been mechanical.
Yeah,
what do you
no,
got?
I do nothing.
And by the way, the telephone box is ripped out of the wall and broken to many, many
Wait.
pieces.
Dang it.
It is, the power is potentially repairable, the phone is not.
I did 9 too high.
You can
What
push
if
your luck,
we
can't
work
you?
together on it? Will that give us?
Would that work?
Will that give us a bonus die? What does it sound like?
For teamwork?
Yeah, Eli, can you give me a hand with this? Normally working together on something, right? Gives
You hear the sounds of footsteps coming down, probably on the 3rd floor at this point.
I'm gonna stay by the door just in case, protect
I've
the door
got my dagger in my hand.
I got the gun ready.
Can I find any kind of weapon down there? You can find a weapon.
In the basement?
Yeah.
You could tear some of the arms off the staircase, maybe. The staircase is also,
Do
big,
it.
bro.
It's a good sturdy pipe.
Sure, you have a club for that one too.
I can
Okay.
also keep taking a look at this and you can use Dad's knife.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be better with the club though. My brawl's pretty good actually.
The knife uses brawl too.
Does it? But it's not. As
So
much
how did you
damage.
guys do in the electrical repair roll? It's a hard skill, by the way.
So
I rolled
you
9
just-
too
you have
high.
half as much
No.
chance. I mean, do you need a hard
No.
success with it?
Let me take one look at it.
Unskilled, that means
You
you
never
need a
know.
5
It
or
would
lower.
take all my
Come on.
luck to make that
Come on.
hard stuff.
Yeah, same here.
No. Okay.
I ain't
Take a
gonna
look at it.
You never know till you try.
If it'd been mechanical, man, I'm good with that kind of stuff.
Not mechanical.
Yeah.
So you can burn luck on skills, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can burn permanent
But it
luck
would
on a
take all
skill,
luck at the
but it's
Find
permanent.
the floor.
That was my first one.
I'm burning 4 luck.
Burning 4 luck. Okay.
Yeah, that puts me at 5. I rolled a 9.
I don't want your skills, so you need to tell me if that's a hard success.
That's
or
a
not.
hard success. I'm untrained.
All right, so you're gonna have to spend probably 10 to 15 minutes repairing this electrical box to get the power going again. There's footsteps are on the 2nd floor by now.
Yeah, go back up
Somebody
that way,
foot?
don't we?
There are windows in the basement leading outside.
Okay.
They're up high. You'd have to smash them and climb through them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna guess that one doesn't let me stay up there with him like my character wanted. So I'm gonna end up being at the back of the party because, you know.
You got the gun in your trunk. You need to be the front.
I'm
just saying.
Ladies
The gun in
first,
her
right?
Hey, Trump.
She's
Front?
Well, my
She's on the
character-
gun. What's your gun?
Oh, I just said, I was like thinking like gun in her trunk or something like that. I was like,
Her.
is that
Eli,
something?
So they're coming to
Caroline,
me first.
Caroline, Eli, well,
Hi, fixing this. Shut up.
So,
they're coming down the stairs, okay?
so they're coming
You need to
downstairs.
go
I'm at the
first.
end of the party.
You're at the end of the party?
Yeah, because
Footsteps
that's
are
what
on
my
the
character would do.
footsteps are one staircase above you. You hear the footsteps now, as in like you could hear almost what type of shoes they're wearing. The funny part is they're not wearing shoes. You hear a wet sucking sound as they go from step to step. They're walking slower than a normal human.
Okay, I'm knocking out
So
the window.
basically,
I'm pretty much just like, guys,
It's the thing
guys.
that was tearing people
I'm
apart.
going-
So
I'm
I
going
put
out
the
there.
stuff down. I just
Got my gun ready.
stand there ready.
Okay, what do I, can
I'm
I
in
just
my-
climb out that window?
Yeah.
I mean, I knocked the window out, can I climb
You break,
out?
okay, you break the window out with your
Yeah.
club.
Yeah,
Yeah, just need to get someone to lift you up, or you need to have something you can stand
I'll
on
lift
and
you.
start to
you
climb.
lift me up and I'll keep a hand
Yeah,
out.
I'm
All
gonna go out
right.
there.
The
And then
shatter
you
of the
just
window, you hear the footsteps stop for just a momentary pause, and then they resume again. At this point, you can see the feet of whatever this things or things are. They are not human. They are reptilian or amphibious in nature. They have very long clawed feet and very distinct webs between their toes. Their feet are more like a human's hands as
Are
opposed
you?
to
Yeah. Someone was gonna take
Come on,
my
let's
hand.
go.
Let's
We're
go.
going.
I'm just like,
only
I
have a
don't
dagger.
forget me.
okay.
Uh,
I really
I'm
don't.
drunk.
You
I'm
gave me
gonna
the
fire
boost.
us
Yeah.
I
first
need you to make a
time.
sanity roll before you fire.
I'm going out there to see. I hear her.
I'm
say
clear for
something.
this.
Feels gonna be
Gunfire.
fast paced,
I'll
like
pass.
on the edge of your seat. This is how your game is down there.
At times.
Good.
But we
Okay,
always
so
split
no
the
loss.
party, so both
So I hear her
both halves of
screaming.
the party have to do
Wanna go out there,
awful
she was
things.
screaming.
But yeah, I see the feet of these things. I'm
Like,
firing. At
it's
the
an open
feet.
area,
Okay.
so there's no. So you see the feet. You're gonna fire
Yeah,
at the feet.
I'm trashed. I'm paranoid and I'm trashed.
Alright.
I'm firing at the feet.
You roll this and like
Yeah,
based
time to
on what
abandon
you
it.
roll is
Everyone
like how
else
much
is
you
good.
like
That is
total.
a
Yeah,
medium success.
but still.
Okay, how much
Yeah,
damage?
come on, this is going on.
Let's say
Eli, come on.
1930s. Yeah. Come on, sis. We gotta go.
6 damage.
Okay, so you see the bullet hit their foot, and it does not penetrate through their skin. It lodges itself in the skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why aren't we down the road yet? You know?
Like, are you outside? Did I help you
That's
out?
gonna
Yeah, I'm
trigger
looking
another
at you.
instinct
Yeah,
shot.
like
Okay.
I yell to them, are y'all gonna come leave with the rest of us?
That is
Best-
a hard success.
Best
Good.
Arnold Schwarzenegger voice I got. Come on, what are you waiting for? Come on, let's go.
Hard
Take my
success
hand
for
if you
me.
want to live.
Take my heart if you want to leave. Use a chopper.
2 damage.
So the gun, the bullet strikes that same leg. You see it blow off some of that outer skin, and a bluish green liquid begins to pour forth from the wound, dripping onto the stairs. The gait of the creature doesn't even move, and now you're seeing it start to round the stairs. These creatures, the best thing I could describe them as is the old creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, they're. Yep. Okay.
That, don't you say a word.
Yep.
Don't you metagame this.
No, Flash is doing what I would do. It's not meta.
Oh, I know, I'm just
I would
saying.
learn too.
I know, there's 2 words, and don't you say what they are.
Yep.
You see these creatures turn the corner. They're just like the creature. They're like gillmen, frogmen, fishmen. They have great bulbous eyes, large mouths with very sharp teeth. And they're I mean, if you're behind her, yeah, you're going to see them. So they're starting to come
The
down
moment I
the
see that
floor.
face, I'm shooting that
Shut
face.
that door.
So you're going to shoot over her head?
Yes, right.
Oh, God.
Okay, so we're going to have to do something that you're going to represent the gun going off under your ears.
Oh, wow.
So let's see if you shoot first.
I see that face, I'm shooting.
Is the door shut?
No, not yet.
Oh, Jesus.
On a 4. That's
I mean,
extreme.
that's awesome.
How much damage?
Gun doesn't strong in extreme.
4.
doesn't
So 4 points of damage? Okay. Where'd you hit it?
I'm trying to hit in the head, face.
Okay. All right. So the bullet goes right through that outer skin layer and lodges in just like it did on the leg with her.
I'm gonna
No
fall
fluid
into
comes
him
out.
because I was not expecting a gun.
You're
to
going to
go
be
off
deaf in
on
one
such
ear
a
now thanks to him shooting the gun next to your head.
How you get
Thank you.
Thank you.
The creatures are halfway down the staircase
I see
now.
nothing.
They're moving towards you folks.
Stop pulling her in.
I'm assuming everybody else is already climbing out the window.
Screaming
Yeah.
from the window. Shut that
Not
door.
working, I'm
Come with
pulling her
me
in,
if you
shut
want
the
to
door.
live. Let's go. Like
Okay.
frantically.
Leaving.
You're
So
still
you guys are
in
climbing through
Yes.
the window? All right. So as you're climbing through the window, and anyone who's helping or even looking inside the window, 2 of them come down the staircase where you guys were. 6 more were following after that, and you see them continue to come down the staircase.
I'm still firing.
Death trap.
Just like
No, I tried pulling you up.
You're trying to pull him. You're
Yeah,
pulling
I'm
her
trying
back.
to pull her back.
Still firing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trashed and I'm seeing
That's
creatures.
why I'm trying to pull her
Liquid
back.
courage.
You better go.
I need you to double the result representing the trauma from hearing the gun in your ear.
You messed her
No.
up. And
Good
I
job.
fail.
And she brought you cookies.
And I mean, you just lost the hearing
just
in one ear.
barely
and the
failed.
hearing in the
I'm gonna burn 2 luck here.
Huh?
I'm assuming I'm still super far from
Oh, yeah.
the-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting out.
I'm gonna burn 2 luck here to get a success.
Okay. This thing's taken 6 points of damage so far.
3.
No, actually didn't.
I
You,
gave 4, man.
And I did a 2 on the second shot.
you've done 2 points of damage. Sorry.
So
They have
8
armor,
for
by the way,
me.
so the first verse hits are negated.
That was 8 for me.
That's it.
That's it. And I got a 3 here.
Wait, no, you hit it how many times?
I've hit it 3 times.
This is
This
the
will be the
third
3rd time. So what was the second amount of damage you had?
I hit 6 and then I hit for 2 and then I hit for 3.
6 is negated because of the armor, so 2 and 3 have taken 5 points of damage.
Yeah, my damage was negated 2 because
Yep. They
There's
have.
like 6 of these.
Yeah, it's time to turn around.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, that's
a lot.
what
So who's gonna pull her through the window? Because yeah,
I will pull her through the
I'm
window.
already
We'll make like a
to
link
do
and
that.
just
Like,
pull.
what the heck are you doing?
So what do I do to get pull her through?
You're down there with her.
Actually, I was going. Sorry to go. Well, I was trying to stay.
She's definitely.
No, and after that happened, I was starting.
So I'm giving you guys a free ticket to
free.
get out of the basement. If someone does want to remain behind, there is a way that we can represent whether you're attacked or not. But you have the option to get out, and everyone's trying to pull Adriel out.
Yes.
So I'm giving her kind of like an extra free ticket because there's multiple people saying I'm getting her the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, is there something
you
you guys
gonna-
want to roll
you're gonna
against?
leave
Because
this
I'm
one?
drunk, I'm seeing freaky stuff. I'm not. I'm like
Strength.
killing.
Or do we need to roll our
Get rid
strength
of
to
it.
get her out?
I don't
Get
think so.
rid of me.
I mean,
Like,
it's
be
more
the
than one
strength roll
person
for her.
pulling her out of the room.
So,
You could roll
Him
this.
and I alone have a combined roll of twice her roll.
We'll put it this way: she can roll strength, and whoever's trying to hold her or pull her out, roll strength as well. We'll add all you guys up against her one roll.
Strength.
who's got the strongest strength?
Well, I got a 70. That's
Oh,
pretty.
you.
I'm only
I got a
So my
60.
strength is pretty low on this one.
Yeah,
than
her.
the other two.
He's gonna try to pull her out.
No, I mean everyone, not just one. I want everyone. Everyone who's trying to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work for me.
Success.
I didn't want it enough.
You got a hard success.
Yeah, no, mine's not a hard
So
success.
two hard
It's a pretty good
successes
success.
against what'd you get?
I've got. Oh, am I supposed to be rolling
Roll.
against them?
Yeah.
I fail.
Okay, so two hard successes and a failure. You're not going to remain down. They're going to pull you out.
Yeah.
All
Or you
right.
can push him back in.
Hey.
What's that?
From this
I won't stop you. It's good. So when you guys pull her out of the basement, being the last person in the basement, you hear the sound of Abelard and Murdoch rolling out of the house by Abelard's wheelchair. And Abelard is screaming at Murdoch, go faster, they're loose. And Murdoch looks over at you guys and says, come now, go.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
Runs all you guys in the back of a cargo storage truck, and he drives you off and essentially stops, takes you to where you've been staying, and says that tomorrow you're all going to Vermont anyway. That's the end of episode 3. You can
So
ask
is there
questions.
another command center? Because that one was apparently destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, we just became Power Rangers and then
Do I have
Zordon's
to-
wheeling out, you know.
Yeah, Zordon's just like.
He's gonna get you at a hotel room or something.
Okay.
It's not some important where he takes you to a place to stay just for that night. Probably just for a couple hours before you get to go to Vermont the next day.
Since I did see their face, do I take an insanity roll too? You never did tell me that you did.
Yeah, probably should.
But I'm gonna be honest. So.
Actually, James, you would too, because you were in the basement when they came downstairs as well.
I'm just guessing I
This
wasn't
would've-
affected because I was smashed.
I mean, that would have been.
You know, that was fun.
Yeah.
I scored.
Passed. 37 out of 69.
1d6.
Can I tell them what they were now?
One.
Okay.
If you make a mythos roll, you can.
Okay.
One.
What are you going
I
for?
don't have any Cthulhu myths.
All right, I'm still.
You weren't here last week.
Well, but he gave us one for hearing the
He gave us
Migos.
We have one.
Because it would be your character that would tell them, not you. I mean, Roy may know what they are, but the question is, does Flash?
Not at all.
No, it's
Eli ain't no shit.
It's got alcohol. Yeah. No.
You're just traumatized by the drunk roll over the fire on the creatures. Not the creatures themselves.
I could
Do you still have that bottle on you?
take off 6.
Because after all that, I'd be in the back of the truck going, okay, I'll drink a little bit.
Hey,
I need it now.
I need it now.
I'm taking out six luck points to make my success for it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it would be against my character to have a flask, but I
For
don't
the,
know.
you want to succeed on this? Huh? I'm
His
confused.
Cthulhu Mythos chat.
Oh, okay. So you succeed in
Yes.
Cthulhu Mythos?
Yes, by
Yeah.
taking off 6
Okay.
points.
These creatures are some type of a fishmen that are rumored to worship one of the elder gods. And the one thing you do know about them is that they are immortal.
They happen to have instant accents? Would they happen to have an accent from instant?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We didn't
It's
talk
like-
Where the fish noises.
What is Innsmouth? What is
I've read that one and I've read Economic Madness. That's
I'm going to explain to my buddies what I believe to know about these things.
I'd recommend reading The Whisper of the Darkness if you want to get some more background on this mission. It's
Right.
very nice.
I pretty much explained to everybody what I think about it. I know these things, apparently.
Did it, Chuck? Did it, Chuck?
Okay, so Abelard, just to sum things up, it tells you that you're going to be going to Vermont the next day. You're going to be going with the 4 people that you've had before, Larry Neckler, David Drake, Sarah Matherson, and Sam Morrison. Sarah Matherson was injured in the attack, but she has been bandaged up and tended to, and she's just going to rest on the trip there.
Oh, she's alive?
Oh, you get to play
Not the pretty
nurse.
one.
That's the
Guys, come on, I'm not that shallow, okay? I'm just
right,
glad
but
that.
the one you're attached to.
Yeah, like,
So Abelard tells you after you're, say, like a hotel or motel or someone's home, Abelard tells you that he's going to send you by train to Pittsfield, Massachusetts is where you're going. And on the train, not only are you going to be traveling, but all of your equipment and your mission, as well as a flat car for 2 cars. So there's 2 cars on the train, and then 2 train cars for you and all of your supplies. We've got a lot of supplies traveling with you.
Yeah.
Did you have any questions for Abelard before you leave?
can I keep a weapon on me? Can I have?
You return your weapons.
Okay. Looks like
Am I
another
supposed to be working with these people? Am I supposed to
You
help
kind
these
of got
people?
drafted
You've been drafted.
Just like me.
to travel with them on the mission because you're also a college student who's at the party. Abelard asked you privately to come join, and then kind of says, well, I asked you to go with you people on this mission too.
I guess.
And just to let you know, now that I'm sobered up,
You're the one
I'm
that
pretty
kind of pushing you into this. It was.
and prissy, and like, yeah, these people.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, now that my character's sobered up, I'm pretty like reserved and prissy and like just like with these people. I don't want to be here. I was drug into this because I was the only non-pop person in the pop person group.
That's what she had trouble.
Exactly.
Flash Ace, it's nice to meet you. Caroline?
Over.
Marla said me Corbett, is that allowed?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, Caroline Corbin.
Gregory McLean, you might know him from Chicago Tribune.
And Cecilia Bloom. I was a librarian.
This is my beautiful sister.
Think of the character
I actually
from the
dumped all
original
my biggest one to do appearance for
That's
something else.
beautiful.
So it's like, what's your 80 in? I'm not just pretty.
So, any questions for Abelard before you leave?
My only one was if I was stuck with these people, and he said yes, so.
Now we got 2 Scullies in the room.
No, you can't. Alright, no questions. He pops you on the train. You're going to travel by train for a day, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and that evening you're going to stay in a hotel. Very nice hotel. And the next morning you're going to get up and leave. At any point, if you want to stop and do something, let me know. A lot of this is going to be travel time, so we're going to handle a lot of this, not get too bogged down. So the next morning, all the vehicles are loaded off the train the day before, so they're ready to go. Everyone loads up the vehicles with all the equipment and gear. And you set off. Sam Morrison is driving the lead car, and Larry Nicholas is driving the truck behind. All right. So it takes about half a day to get back to where?
Cops Corner.
Yes. Now, before we even get started in Cobb's Corners, feel free to ask questions about some of the people we met before. You guys didn't really explore a lot of the town. I thought you like that much of it. It was one of the things that Frank told me when he read episode 1 after playing through it. He was like, "Holy cow, there was so much more!" I was like, "Yeah, you guys didn't do much." And I'm not saying it to meta you. I'm just saying literally, this town was very large, a lot of buildings, but you guys only hit like 2 or 3. So
So you guys didn't overthink your life pizza first.
yeah, yes, definitely.
There's one thing I definitely know I want to do in Cobb's Corner, and that is go
Let's
see
go share.
that reporter. Yeah, we can do that too.
So what
Hey, yeah, reporter.
do you guys think your reception is going to be like in Cobb's Corner?
Oh, where about it?
Yeah.
Unwelcome as shit.
Yep. So when the car and the truck pull into town, lots of locals come out of their houses and line the streets, and they're all just looking at you like you're the college kids. There was a previous group of college kids who come to town, and they did some good things. And now this group of college kids did some far worse things than alcohol with alcohol because during Prohibition.
And now we're back with weapons.
Yes. So
We had alcohol and women.
you're showing up with
Oh
other people.
no!
You're showing up with 4 other people, as well as a lot of supplies from a very big company. 2 vehicles. So, Sheriff Spencer is standing in the middle of the town when you guys drive up, and you can immediately see in his face he is not happy to have you back
He sees two new people
I have a
there.
shit-eating grin on my face.
Yeah.
I sat down and see him.
Beautiful day, Sheriff Spencer.
You guys drive by and he just looks at you and shakes his head.
Long time no see.
The cars drive through town and you're heading back to the McLaren farmhouse. Everyone's talking about it. So you guys travel to the farmhouse outside of town, and when you pull to the farmhouse, it's very different from before. Because the very first thing you see are 3 large FOC trucks parked around the farmhouse. They've also done a tremendous amount of work on the farmhouse. You see there's a group probably 50 yards north of the farmhouse that is digging a massive hole in the ground and putting things into it. You also see that there are lights, electric lights, all around the outside of the building. And you see a string of electric lights that runs back out to a brand new outhouse where the old one was previously. They've reinforced a lot of the walls, repaired a lot of the windows. Everything is back in really, really good shape. They made the farmhouse look really, really good. And one thing too, by the way, on the trip here, they also, somebody, maybe it was FOC, rebuilt the bridge that got washed out before. And it was the bridge over the Gunhead River.
Bridges.
So when you guys pull up, you can still see that the farmhouse looks the same, but anything that's broken or messed up before has been fixed. And the workers stop what they're doing and come out to the vehicles to unload everything. And they also hook up a generator to the radio and bring the radio that was on the truck. Bring a radio that was on the truck into the house. And you see an antenna on top of the house. There's a smaller group of men who split off from the workers. They were workers, they split off. And they're unpacking some boxes. And you see them start to take things out of the boxes that are most definitely traps. I'm talking like large bear traps, rolls of barbed wire. And they're setting these traps up all around the house. There's snares, bear traps. They also have a couple of nets they hang up in the trees. And like anything you can think of that would catch and ensnare something.
Now I just really want the sheriff to come snooping around when he shouldn't be. I know that's bad because there are bear traps here, but there's just this part of me that's like, serves you right, motherfucker.
Well, if he brings deputy, he'll disarm them all first.
Right?
You guys go inside the house, you see that the majority of the work is actually done on the inside because all the walls have been put with reinforced steel. And there's also girders holding up each of the walls. So the outside of the farmhouse looks the same in terms of material. It's still wooden, but the inside there's wooden or steel reinforcements all around. So this seems like a bunker now.
How far away did you say the dig site was?
The dig site? 50 yards. Workers kind of finish up what they're doing while you guys are unpacking, and they get in their trucks and drive off and leave with you, leaving you with the 4 NPCs. And the NPCs tell you that probably should get settled in for the night. You need to know who's going to take first watch once it gets dark. Flashbill?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, we're fast forwarding a lot of this because, unless there's something you want to do, I'm not going to stop. All right, so you guys get settled in for the night in the reinforced farmhouse. You're told that, yes, indeed, this whole thing was set up to try to capture any amigo who might come near the house. That's why the traps are outside. The pit in the backyard was filled with, excuse me.
With what now?
450 gallons of drums of gasoline. And that's for fuel for the vehicles, and they built it away from the house so that if something happens and they explode, it won't blow up the house too.
It's okay, you started to say
It's like a type of explosive. I mean, it's explosive gasoline. Is what
right,
I'm
but
gonna
it's
say.
really funny to just hear, well, the pit's been filled up with explosives. What?
Well, explosive gasoline is what
Right.
they're putting it away from the house in case there's an accident.
Right.
The house is
We are
destroyed.
having a different problem.
Yes, very much. Yeah. There's batteries powering all the electric lights. The gasoline's also for the generator. There's a radio inside so they can contact back with Avlard if need be, and that's what the antenna is for as well. Any other questions? Night goes by uneventful. You see nothing. The next day. In the morning, Sam Borson volunteers as the other NPCs and your folks are fixing breakfast. Sam says, I'll go outside and check all the traps. So they fix breakfast. Everyone's breakfast. It's bacon, eggs, type standard fare. Sam comes inside and says that one of the traps got sprung last night and asks everyone to come outside and take a look.
Okay.
So about 60 foot from the rear of the building, there was a bear trap placed on the ground in a bush, or right beside a bush.
Can I see this from the back window?
We'd have to go outside because they hit it pretty well. The trap has been sprung, but there's nothing in it other than the trap is covered in some kind of a really foul-smelling yellowish green, like slime or goop or ichor. And it smells
Like you found
terrible.
the Easter bunny. Sure.
It has a very strong ammonia smell to it.
You got a specialist.
Would having a high occult help with determining what it is? Maybe.
I was gonna say, could I roll against a natural world for this?
Yeah, you can do both of these.
Okay.
Hey.
That is an extreme success.
I got a hard success. I
It's
got a
58.
success.
Yeah, it's pretty close to an extreme success.
I know just about everything about this thing.
So, you know the good news and bad news?
Both?
Bad news first?
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't know what this is from. You know this is not earthly. It's not natural. It's not earthly. It could be alien. It could be extraterrestrial in terms of like another dimension type thing. It's not something from this world. You don't know what creature came from though. Matherson takes a sample of it and wants to do some analysis on it in the house with the kit that he has. So he goes back inside this house with the kit. And Morrison is convinced it's one of the Amigo. He has no reason to think this, but he just says, I know it's Amigo. Well, you know, we're here to catch Amigo, and this is definitely Amigo that did this. And it lost its leg. And right then when he says it, you know, he's kind of being a little fervent. He's not really got any reason to think that a leg was cut off because there's no leg there, but he's fabricating a story in his own mind. And he thinks that the Amigo is going to be spying on everyone. Who knows?
You could be right.
Is there any trace of that same liquid around the trap?
It's just on the trap itself. There's also no footprints. You guys are walking back to the house unless you want anything else. Matherson runs outside and immediately says, yep, this is the same stuff that we found when the Migos that we had in the lab dissolved. They leave this behind. So this was definitely a Migo.
Good to know.
And just so you know too, from this point forward, if you do encounter that slime, you will immediately know it's a Migo. You don't have to roll for it.
Okay.
That's the way I play occult mythos type checks and things like that. Unless you've encountered it previously, you can get an idea of the nature of it. But then after that, it's like an automatic, oh yeah, I know what that is, type thing. So,
Especially something that assaults your senses like that.
yeah, you won't forget that smell. So the NPCs basically tell you guys the rest of the day is up to you. Morrison and Drake are going to go on a scouting trip out to the woods. Sounds like fun, right? Matherson wants to do some more work on this goo that he's found. And Neckler is got some mechanical things he wants to do, setting up traps and getting the house more rigged in case there's an attack.
I'm gonna help Matherson with the goo.
Okay.
I'm
You can
gonna go into the
also go into town too. You do have the right ability to take a vehicle and go back into town. They'll let you do that.
Let's do that.
Your face. Yeah.
So Adrian's going to stay and work on the
I'm going,
goo. Okay.
I'm going with Flash.
Before his flash go on.
I thought he was going to town.
Yeah, I'm going to
All right. So who's going to town?
That's 4, I guess.
I kind of wanted to go into the woods, but I don't want to split the party that much.
You'll have Morrison and
Come on, let's go.
This goes away.
I'll go in the
Sam will
woods.
go with you.
Okay.
Go in the Raging Cajun over here.
All right. So Sam and Abby are going to go in the woods.
Yeah.
Roy, Daniel, James, and Corey are going to go to town, and Adrian's going to stay behind and work on goos all day. All right.
They with the goo.
So, you guys were here in this town before. What happened?
Everybody died.
Yeah, better question would be like, what did it happen?
These people around this town don't seem to like you.
All right. So which group wants? There's 3
Very
groups. Who wants to go
astute
first?
observation.
Detective.
Anyone?
Since it's just me and Mon, I'll go
I'm
first.
very good with
Okay. Matherson does some more tests on it and determines that not only is this the he calls it the blood, but it's the fluid from Amigo. This is fluid from Amigo who was here last night. The Amigo's fluid is something that's normally left when the Amigo dies, and Matherson was very puzzled as to why this fluid was left. There's no body. He goes back outside and takes you with him and goes to look around the trap. The bush is not disturbed enough that a body would have fallen onto it or nearby. As a matter of fact, he can't explain why this fluid was here, but there's no trace that Amigo should have died when this happened. In his experience, when Amigo died, the fluid comes afterwards. Like Amigo basically has to fall to the ground and then the fluid comes out of it. So how this came out of Amigo without evidence on the ground of it falling, he can't explain. This is very odd to him, and he doesn't understand it. It doesn't match what he's seen in the laboratory back.
Trying to confuse us.
Miss Katana Q. So that's what you guys find for the day. Who's next?
Well, since we're the next smallest group, I guess us.
So you guys go into the woods?
Yeah.
Okay. They go back out to try to go to the two of the sites that FOC had previously gone for surveys to see if anything has been disturbed. You make it to one. It's about a 3-hour walk. Find nothing of note. Matter of fact, the NPCs tell you that this big site was exactly this way last time they were there, and they're very disappointed that no one has actually tried to disturb it. And they're looking for signs of Amigo. They're kind of expecting to find it. At that point, they say, we'll have to check the other one tomorrow because it's taking us this long to get here. Let's get back to town in case something happens. They're kind of worried that the Amigo might be coming back tonight if one of them was there last night, possibly more. Don't really find anything.
Okay.
People in town. You guys go into town. Sheriff Spencer is not in town. I'm going to tell you that right now. But where's the deputy?
Nice.
What do you want to tell me what you want to do?
Do you want to go check the child at the corner, see if he's drawn anything different?
I want to go back to the reporter.
I hear.
I want to see the story that was wrote about us.
You
And
guys-
the old story of the last group. We never got to find out about it.
You guys are a group, so you just tell me, are you splitting in town then, or are you all going to stay together?
We can stay together, just having an itinerary.
We got the map there. I can drive too. I'm a pretty good driver.
Probably just pick a time to meet back up with you.
So you've got
Where you guys want to go first?
probably about 6 hours.
Let's go, check on the girl, I like that idea.
Just tell me what you did.
Okay.
Why?
We want to go to Jim's Grill first.
Okay.
Gotta get some heat.
What do you remember about Jim's Grill?
The creepy kid.
Yeah, besides the creepy kid.
And that would be, right, if I understand this correctly, would be the first stop anyway,
Sure.
coming in across the bridge.
Make good. My other character thinks they make good burgers.
Jim and Ann are the owners. Jim Haggerty and his wife Ann. And then their son.
Works with them, and sometimes. with-
Son's not present. We'll hand wave this rather than try to role play it all. It'd take a long time to role play 6 hours of talking or an hour to talk to them.
Yeah.
They're cooking lunch, getting ready for lunch. Their son is out playing with friends, wherever that may be. He does this quite often. School hasn't quite started yet, so they're letting him live out the last days of the summer vacation and enjoy his time of freedom. Any, like, you want to ask some questions? Like what?
Where are they playing?
Down somewhere around town. Your kids.
You know.
He's 14. He's a teenager, so.
Yeah. His friends might have little tentacles and stuff.
You can tell her that?
No.
Oh. Damn, your son has tentacles on him. The son's friends have tentacles on their face. That probably won't work so well.
I'm gonna need you to leave now. Or better yet, yeah, you can tell me about that.
Sheriff's not in town today.
No other questions?
Really?
Seriously?
I wanted to ask them how's things been.
In the town?
Yeah, since we've been gone and stuff. I mean, has anything notable happened or?
No, not really. Pretty much business as usual, and they did hear some bad stories about things you crazy kids did, and you better stay away from that demon alcohol. You know, they give you the normal good Christian speech about, be good, but they don't really give you a whole lot of shit for it, to be honest with you.
How long's it been since we've been
See
here?
anything yellow
Like
good?
a month or?
Stop living among you where there aren't any cats.
Yeah. Smell of cats and cleaning products. How's your son doing?
I'd like for you to make a persuasion roll with Jim.
I got it, but Eli or I guess I'll
I didn't
try.
talk to these people before.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try this. Okay. Persuade.
They know you.
39, just barely.
So you made a success?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jim kind of pauses when you ask anything has happened, and his wife Ann is the one who answers. Says, everything's beautiful, peachy keen, blah, 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 right?
Jim's hesitating.
Yeah, Jim has. He looks at his wife and he says, well, honey, there was that one time the crazy old farmer came to town, and she said, Jim, that's nothing. Don't need to talk about that. She shushes him. And he says, no, not really, it's nothing.
No, what is it, honestly?
He looks at his wife and she kind of gives him a nod, like, and he says, no, not really.
Sure.
Oh man, I just really want to just like, you're your own man, Jim. Like, come on. You're your own man, Jim.
Who wears the pants around here, Jim?
Yeah.
Always wife.
It's the 1920s now. It's not modern day.
I know. That's
Yeah,
why
I'm
I'm hoping
just-
to provoke a response when I'm just like, you're your own man, Jim. You
Maybe
know, it is
cause
the
the-
1920s, so there should be even more of that. Yeah,
Maybe
I'm really hoping to play on that. I
Maybe
really
cause
want
them
to
to
play
get
on
divorced
that
or
male,
something,
machismo kind of. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll burn 4 or 8 luck points.
Jim's not a very masculine guy. And Jim is very apt to do whatever his wife tells him.
Jim's me.
Jim looks at her.
Who just said that?
Yeah, Jim's a lot of men.
I relate with Jim.
Real world meta. Ann kind of glares at him, and he looks and he says, "It's just an old crazy farmer. It's not a big deal." She jumps in. She answers your question. She says, "Well, there's this old immigrant farmer who lives on the edge of town, and he's a nice guy. He doesn't come to town often, but he's coming to town a lot more since you guys were here last. And you know, I wouldn't go talk to him because there's no telling he might fill your ear with, but we usually see him about once a month, and he's been here more often than that. And that's all we need to say about him." She glares at Jim when she says that, like, don't you say a damn word.
Yeah, we. What's so like bad for Jim?
Then she gives you the diner owner shush of like, start talking about lunch specials and what we order for you.
Order some food or get the fuck out.
Exactly.
I'm probably gonna order some food while she's gone. Like Jim, what's
Sure,
really
it's a
good,
idea.
bro?
I had good experiences before.
You want to order some food? She sends Jim back to the kitchen. Remember, he's the cook.
Yeah. I'll give him a hand. Like,
Oh no, she says no.
you know, you're
Customers need to stay out of here. He's got it back there. No problem. You can ask me anything.
Something about the farmer.
Jim.
Okay. Do they have pie? This is a very important question. What kind of pie? This pie, whatever.
Yeah,
it's cool.
whatever you want.
I love coconut.
No, coconut pie's gross.
It's your favorite kind of pie, whatever
There we
it
go.
is.
There we go.
And they have a fine cup of coffee as well.
I'm ordering both of those
Damn
things.
fine cup of
I'm ordering
coffee.
both of those things.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just start talking to her. Not about anything, like
Yeah.
specifically,
Just
that. Just basically that. And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna keep changing the subject here or there. Not in a jarring way, but just, leading her on this winding trail in an attempt to loosen what I want out of her. Basically, fast talking.
Like that scam where you keep getting the cashier bills for using.
Yep. Then I hand her 1, then I hand her 5, then I hand her 20, then I hand her 1 again. Oh boy! Extreme.
So what do you want out of her?
I don't know what happened with the dude. Like what?
She literally only knows that a crazy farm that in town is kind of. That's it. That's all
Yeah,
she
we got
knows.
it out of her.
Yeah.
All that effort for nothing.
That's fine. That's fine. I now know. I'm pretty sure that that's all she knows. Whereas before it was when she ended it with, "and that's all we need to say about it."
Yeah.
It's very different than, "and that's all I know." And I got pie and a coffee out of it. Do
You
you
got
have
a
pie
damn
and
fine
coffee?
burger.
And yeah. I mean,
I got
it's
myself
cool.
a
Like,
pie
on one
going.
hand, I'm like really happy that like Jim's really cool with his wife and stuff in the 1920s. On the other hand, I'm just like, man, like,
Dude, seriously.
yeah, like, come on, like, you should
Just
love and
just
respect each
abuse.
other. Like, it should be mutual.
Unrealistic. Continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like early afternoon.
Go ahead. We'll send down our lunch.
You're not gonna go find that kid?
Yeah, we need to find the kid. I'm telling you.
We're not gonna go combing for a title for a 14-year-old.
But he can lead us to he who walks behind the rose. Let's go find
Mention
him.
this
That is
before.
not going to help our reputation tracking down a 14-year-old in a car and shit something like that.
Pardon me, have you seen a really creepy kid who draws really obscure and scary pictures?
Right down the road,
Two
literally,
meters.
is the reporter.
It's in the artistic
We
sense.
just stop there.
So, I will tell you folks this, because you don't get a roll for this one. When you've been previously in Cobb's Corners, you have seen all sorts of people, just walking around town, like a normal town, driving, walking around. You see people of all ages. You have not seen children or teenagers this time. And it's very obvious. And compared to the last time you were here, it's very, very blatantly obvious that there's no children. You don't see children walking with parents. You don't see children playing by themselves.
Yeah, I've seen kids. Well, at least the kids.
We should probably go to like the church or some other places then too while we're at it. The school. Let's go to Cobb's School. Let's go to the school. School's not it.
Yeah, it's summer.
Like next week
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
summer.
Or there.
Using the school.
Yeah, it's right
I
down
was
the
gonna say
road.
1920 school didn't start till like November or March.
There's no place like Cobb's Corner.
If they went to school then.
When I lived in Canada this past weekend was Canadian Thanksgiving. That's normally the beginning part of this. That's when kids used to start school. So they have a
The second
Thanksgiving.
first now was usually school because there's nothing else to do except for tending animals in the morning.
So you guys gonna go to school? Or where are you gonna go? You tell me. I don't order
It's
here.
literally right down the
Go to the
road.
reporter's office.
Yeah, we can still go to the school. But
Yeah, let's
You
go
go
to
to the coroner's office?
the reporter's office.
Yeah,
Okay. All
There
right.
are
So.
coroner's officers here.
that's where we're going later.
Oh, Bobby,
Oh, Mr. Coroner.
So the Cobb's Corner Gazette, excuse me, where you went to, that is the office as well as the home of Richard Wendell, the reporter you guys met before. He's the editor, photographer, and reporter. He does everything.
Yeah.
The Gazette is paid
Yeah.
out. So you want to go ahead and talk to Mr. Wendell?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to talk to.
Mr. Wendell, you remember us?
Yes, he does. Surprised to see you back in town, as a matter of fact.
Where's the report you promised us? Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that. I'll have to dig that up. How long are you guys going to be doing?
Not this time, Mr. Wendell. Not this time.
What do you mean not this time?
And I'm going to walk to the door and lock it.
Roy has a tendency to always go into backup mode every game.
Yeah.
He's going to hit backup mode sometime in that year.
Yeah,
Which is
probably.
really funny because you really should see him playing D&D on Saturdays. It's the best.
Yeah, I'm
He's like the nicest guy.
I'm the nicest guy.
Really? It's
He
just
has
my
a
game?
baby cow.
No, it's my game
I'm
for
playing the
backup.
guy who's based on, he's the new ranger that lets you turn into a tree. So I base him off a group, and he's like neutral good. And yeah, like everybody else is wanting gold and treasure. It's like not my guy. He likes to collect animals.
He just like
Yeah, there's a in Antarctica, there's a ranger archetype that lets you turn into a tree. It's like the primeval guardian.
Sentinel.
Do
Yeah,
you still
Sentinel.
have like a companion?
No.
Aw, that's stupid.
But
Different
I'm still collecting. Like I got a baby cow. Like I'm not into material stuff. I'm into like animals and giving people good berries because they give them sustenance. So I'm just like I'll just do good berry all day and feed people and yeah, I'm a good guy.
So you shut the door and lock it?
Yeah.
It's really interesting seeing this.
What are you doing,
Really good
Matt?
person. If you're a reporter, I mean, come on, get with the program. Walk it like.
So what are you
So-
going to ask him?
I'm gonna just be like, listen, we're tired of getting the runaround, and we need some information, and you have it because I know how this stuff works. There's old reports, there's old newspaper clippings. That's all we want. Like this doesn't have to be a hard thing. You just give us the information. What was promised to us, by the way?
And what was that?
You were gonna give us all the old newspapers about the group that was in here before, as well as the story that you wrote on us.
Okay.
Remember
So
we
he pulls out the
posted a
story
picture?
for you guys,
Yeah.
and he pulls out one or two stories in the group that was heard before. The story is completely innocent. There's nothing special about it that other than your college students coming to town. There was a follow-up story about all the things you did wrong, and he tells you nervously that he had to write that to appease to the people of the town because they weren't too happy about you folks.
Yeah, I do. I get that.
Reading through the stories, though, there's nothing unique or special about them.
Was that so?
Who comes into town, doing some work for a large company in the woods, they disappear, and that's it.
I unlocked the door immediately.
Okay, time to take my black hat off and put the white one on.
Like he locked the door and walked away, and I'm like right next to the door.
Walk up and you're like,
Well, you don't even need the fast talk. I mean, this guy, he's nervous,
Yeah.
but he really doesn't have anything extra to know about it.
either or.
So has anything been going around town? Any kind of good stories?
No, not much at all. We see a whole lot less of the kids these days. They seem to kind of disappear for longer periods of time, and we don't know why.
We noticed that too.
But none of them disappear for good. They're always back home at night. But used to see them running and playing in the streets, but now we just don't see them at all.
Have you tried maybe following one of the kids? Not creepy like
Yeah,
that.
That would be
Not like
creepy.
that.
Yeah,
Take your
that
better
would be-
mustache off.
Yeah, I
Down.
don't think the parents would be okay with that. I'm a single
Weird.
man.
Well,
so-
I mean, well, talk to the parents, see if they can all the kids around.
They don't know.
Single older man.
Not like that.
Yeah.
You're asking if the parents have followed the children to
Yeah.
see? Oh man, if I really did that watch band now, I just broke. I totally broke.
It's an omen.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, if the parents had known where their kids would go, we would have known by now. We don't know, so I mean,
Sounds like
So just
a bunch of
all the
parents.
kids just kind of disappear on a daily
I
basis.
mean, it's the end of summer and school's about to start up, but
Yeah,
it's just
but like
odd not to
all
go
of
through. I
them?
mean, you said you noticed going through the streets, and there's a lot of kids running around.
Yeah, but it's like all of them.
And then it's big stuff.
Any kind of year that they'd be going to
There's a whole like.
I don't want a box, no. but
I can bring more next week too. I got tag-alongs too.
I have to watch these girlish figures.
I brought the cookies.
I know, that's what I'm telling you. Don't bring more. Then I won't have this girlish figure.
But they're thin.
I'm only going to take one of the rows here. No, the whole thing.
And you dropped it earlier now.
He has no idea.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
a drug dealer, like the first box is free. Yeah, he really doesn't know what's up with the kids.
I just wanted one.
He just knows. He has noticed
They're
that.
not mine now.
You can have it, now they're all yours.
Go, my child.
Corey.
Like nobody wants to be the one to eat the last of the fitness. It's like I've got more. If you like it that much, I can bring more.
Oh, I'm not. I'm
No,
not.
that's
I'll eat
empty.
the last one. I'm not scared.
What the hell?
Yeah, he ate one of the whole things.
You know why I haven't eaten it yet? I can't reach them.
I will make sure that Chuck looks straight at your head next week.
Well, everyone else is.
Just walk in, just like pile them on the table. Like, thanks.
New DM screen.
It's like they're gonna come in and there's gonna be like Samoas, tag-alongs,
Just like
stacked
castle-
4 high.
castle
Samoas are
cookie
best.
boxes.
So
Buy
nothing
some.
people will show up.
He knows nothing.
I don't have that many.
Nothing.
Don't tease us.
Thank you for
But I
your
do
time.
that.
We have to find the children.
Oh, the children.
Yeah.
Probably time to
I
get
should
back
have
to
went
the
into
farm.
town because I have a good score in art. I could have said I was interested in his art he was creating.
Remember you were playing music and I was like, what the heck?
Where do you
So
guys
you've
want to
seen
go
the
now?
Because I've got
Thank
good
you for your time,
persuasion.
Mr.
I'm
Wimble.
used to
Maybe
Johnny
you should come
Cash
with us
playing
next
during
time.
my Call of Cthulhu
That
games.
is not
Johnny
my character
Cash.
style, though.
One of my
The house
friends,
is here. The house is
significant
steel walls down.
Isn't there- let me see the map.
people is Johnny
This was
Cash.
around the house.
This is music written for Call of Cthulhu.
But it wasn't in the
playing
His
Johnny
significant,
Cash?
No,
his significant person is Johnny Cash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's complicated, but we've listened to a lot of Johnny Cash.
You
here
know
in
that
Final
Johnny Cash is
Fantasy.
dead, right?
You know what?
Okay, just making it.
Let's go to the church.
Yeah, you might be
I always
high,
make
but
sure
you'll
my
never be as
significant
high as
person is
Johnny
someone
Cash.
dead,
You
that way they
don't
can't use it
come
against
here
me.
with us.
Johnny Cash is my daughter's favorite musician.
I like some of his stuff.
Let's go try the church.
All that Frozen.
He's like the only country artist I can listen to.
Like
Johnny
Cocaine
Cash,
Blues,
Frozen.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, that's her favorite stuff.
Sleeping in a coffin in the
Oh, I got in so much trouble playing that Cocaine
So I know we're
Blues
going
at
next.
work
Go to
the
church.
other day.
Go to church.
No, it's all no, never the church.
Always
The church is always bad.
Church, I
It's a good
mean,
church.
the school. Maybe one of my folks
Yeah, let's go to
information about the kids at the school.
They might be there, you know. That's the last place anyone would check.
You know, I'm a terrible keeper.
But I want to go to the church just because of the name. First Baptist Church of the Divine Ascension.
Grandpappy.
With a name like that, I gotta go.
I'm a terrible keeper, by the way. This is the list of the equipment that FOC provided for you folks.
Bedding, mechanical, medical supplies.
Sleep in there, people.
There's a fucking toll to be paid here.
Note to yourself, do not bring
She's got funny. It's like ties. I have two.
brings out the worst.
Groot's gonna end up killing
She's
everyone.
gonna get them all. Yeah.
Very
literally grabbing half
half
your Wow.
They're like really
Okay. Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad you
no,
thought-
I've never had
that's
any
not
of those.
cool.
Really?
There you go.
I didn't like mint stuff until I got older.
You fat fuck.
I know, I'm thankful.
There's another
I'm sorry, y'all.
What happened
I'm
to the other
sorry.
one more
I'm
building?
sorry.
What happened to the city?
Okay, one more building.
The library.
She emptied out all of the one cookie, and this
There is
motherfucker.
not.
Five is my favorite number. There were 6 cookies. I wanted
Jonathan
5.
popped it in. There's another sleep in
Okay,
that box.
guys, we got time for one building. What's it gonna be? My vote either goes for the church, the school, or the library.
I say the school.
I'm gonna go check out the
They're not going to be in school though.
fucking basement like 2 weeks ago. And had
All right,
shit
so what are you
leak
gonna
out.
do now?
Chief, we don't know where she lives.
Where are you gonna go?
It's like your conductor's baton.
School isn't in session, but we might be able to find some information.
Yeah,
about
that was
kids.
inspiration.
Like, what-
Teachers and staff will probably be there as opposed to school starting.
That's cool. I don't know. I say school or church. What do you guys say?
School church.
I say school.
School church. You don't care.
That's the church. So that's 2 for school then. Okay.
I use both hands.
Democracy wins again.
We're all school.
I'm confused. Where are you guys going?
School.
School?
Yeah. Oh yeah, back to the
Jonathan has 5 cookies. Why isn't someone yelling at him?
That's gonna make the
Because he can kill us like that.
Yeah, nobody likes the tattletale Abby.
It's not like I'm hiding them like flipping pages.
Like sticking them in there for the cards.
School, sorry.
Okay, we're at the schoolhouse. Okay. So.
This thing down.
allow for everybody.
Inside the school is in Sharptail.
Sure. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want it.
One room
That's
building.
very nice.
One room building painted bright red with a bell out front to ring for the start of class when class starts. Going inside, there's 12 desks lined up in 4 rows, 2 seats to a desk. The walls are covered with maps, artwork from last year, and a large chalkboard. The only person inside this school is the teacher. School mom introduced herself as Holly Rydell. She's middle-aged and she's quite attractive.
Middle-aged, okay.
Darn, I should have gone.
Man, Flash always falls for all these pretty women. And they
So
always
there's a
die.
lady, there's a
He
middle-aged
never used
lady.
to tell them that he loves them.
Right. So we see this, we ran into this lady.
So the 4 of you need to make an intelligence roll.
Intelligence.
We just claimed
My highest skill.
I got a hard success.
I'm like the school quarterback, man. I mean, come on. We all know how that plays out in school. Oh yeah, yeah, he's Flash. He does it all. Hey, all right. A hard success. Look
Those
at
of you
that.
pass recognize that there's not enough seats in here for all the kids you've seen around town previously.
Yeah, what's up with that?
They died.
If that's the first thing you ask the school, Martin,
No, I want to. Well, yeah. What's your name?
Holly Rydell.
Nice to meet you, Mrs. Redo.
How you doing?
Charmed, I'm sure.
She says in a brusque, manly voice, "Nice to meet you."
That's all right. I can roll with that.
Hey.
Don't ginger shame.
No, I'm not. Is she ginger?
Ginger.
Oh, okay. I was
Whoa,
about to say,
she's
no,
ginger.
she's
Whoa.
Oh my God!
Here we go.
That's where I draw the line.
Trigger.
Ginger
Holy
school
shit.
teacher. Oh, man.
No soul.
You guys are paranoid at and shit like that. You'd be like, "Whoa, she's one of the evil ones."
Yeah. I got a brother who's a day walker, so I'm not really, down on Jim. He's a day walker. Half. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Is that what you tell Holly, or?
No, yeah. I notice all the school or all the kids around here, there doesn't seem like enough seating here.
She says, yeah, a lot of the kids are needed at home, especially on the farms, because it's fall. I don't expect the full classroom. So I've never had it fill up, actually.
That's a shame.
We do what we can.
Yeah.
Well, he gets on her. I want to look at the artwork.
Okay.
Is there any other creepers?
Yeah, keep your busy.
No, all the artwork is very normal children's art. There's nothing creepy or scary about it, like what you saw in the diary.
I'm gonna search back.
Is there any kind of problem children you have, or any strange occurrences?
Psychology roll, please.
Okay. Sam over here watching me. Almost.
We need to be physically talking to her.
This is why they're scared of the kid in the diner, because he was dropping that.
What's wrong with it?
O mother of life, begetteth 1,000 young devourer of my enemies, with my flesh I serve thee. Yeah.
That's totally normal.
That's a little strange.
That's all for
Reminds me of my childhood.
As far as the psychology role, is it physically talking to her or looking at her?
Just her demeanor, so it can be her voice as well as her physical appearance. That's
Okay,
how-
because I got a hard success.
Okay.
Psychology?
Who got a hard
I got-
success besides
I got a
you?
success.
Anybody else got a success, hard success? What else?
I figure I'm off looking at stuff.
Anybody else want to watch
Did you
it?
try?
I'll take it. Yeah.
Where did you try?
I'm marked off what I took.
Did you make it?
Did you?
I did not, no.
You didn't. So you two, especially you, notice a small amount of sweat on her upper lip and her forehead. You notice that she is not comfortable when she starts talking about the children. Especially when you ask the question, have you noticed anything lately?
That makes sense why he didn't notice, because he ain't looking at her lip.
No, I'm just like looking at her, and it's like,
He's
oh,
staring intently.
When she gets to the boob sweat level, that's
Yeah.
when boy was.
yeah.
Okay, well, the cleavage is now sweating, so.
It's not
What's
like
this?
that. It's not like that, guys. He's a romantic. He just falls for these girls
He's
who just.
looking at her good heart.
Yeah, he's looking at her. He's not a creep. No, he really is just a man. I like you. I wonder if I could ever teach her a pretty lady like that would ever be into somebody like me. It's more like a romantic kind of thing. It's not like, yeah, I'm gonna take it back here and just, yeah, no, it's
Stop.
kind of thing.
Stop. Roll that around.
Alright, so Flash is looking at her boobs.
Honestly.
I'm not looking at her boobs.
I should have gone into town. You are doing
I'm just
nothing.
teasing.
I'm thinking about like marrying her and stuff. She's a romantic.
This better. I don't want to marry this woman.
Dude walks in and goes, hey, Flash is looking at her boobs.
Wait till he comes out to say he was looking at the childbearing kid.
Yeah, it's more like that because it is. You got to think of the time that we're working. So it is. It's
Stop.
like, yeah, she would give many strong children.
Look at those hips. She could give me at least 4 kids.
Maybe a litter if I'm lucky.
Oh my god, okay, so you two notice that she is not comfortable talking about the children, and particularly not comfortable talking about the answer to the question.
Especially if Chris Flash is looking at her boobs.
Oh,
She's maybe trying to like get you to look at her boobs rather than her face. She doesn't notice that.
She's looking for a break.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, look up here, look down here.
We're not
Yeah,
teenagers anymore, guys. I love the woman.
Not like
He's a
physically.
young man.
It's like
Okay,
charm
he's
persuade.
20 here he is. He's 21. It's okay.
I got a choice on this one. Charm.
No. You gonna try to take your brother to the way?
No, it's not necessarily romantic.
We're girlfriends.
You can charm your way into someone in a public fashion.
Yeah.
I'm just not good at it. Holy shit.
Ooh, you are her bestie.
Do you really like
Ah,
Extreme.
it? Good.
you are her bestie.
Like 14 X's.
So how do you kind of push the issue of strange behavior?
Basically, I was planning to start off by knocking her off balance with, are you feeling okay? It looks like, you're looking a little hot around here and things like that. Just kind of.
She brushes you off at first, but as she persists, she says, okay, I'm not myself right now.
Well, what's wrong?
You were asking about the children. This music's perfect. You were asking about the children. And truthfully, this past year there was a small group of them. And I noticed they kind of would stay together at recess after the other children. And some of these children weren't always the happiest children. But when this,
Sorry, the scream.
oh, it's perfect.
I love it when this one comes on.
Yeah.
It comes on
Like,
all the
oh,
time.
you
You're
say
like, this
one
one's
song.
purpose, and it's just in the background.
I haven't got to the good part yet.
Anyway,
So this group of children who started gathering together, they previously weren't the happiest of children because some of them were from like the lower end of town as far as the income goes and whatnot. But when they started having these little groups at recess, they became extremely happy. And they would stand in circles and they'd whisper and they would giggle. And they'd often play really strange games that I never really understood, but just watching them made me uneasy. There was something about the way these kids gathered together that I just didn't like. It just repulsed me almost. That's the first thing that happened. As the school year went on, just watching around the room, and she says, your friends looking at these pictures. I would encourage my children to express their creativity and draw and paint pictures and draw pictures for me.
Of course, you wouldn't have the creepy ones on the walls, guys.
No.
Sorry.
And that same little group, they began to draw pictures that were horrible. There's no other word for it. They were just frightening, terrifying, horrible. People getting killed, people killing other people. There was all sorts of references to names and places I've never heard of before. And a lot of times their friends would be drawing these pictures and they would be the ones doing the horrible things. And I'd ask them about them and they would just say, oh, it's just imagination or a story we tell each other or a game we play. And they never give me details. And they always tried to brush me off. And then, one day, I noticed one of the kids was not in the normal group that played together and did the queer little games. And I started asking for him by name, and no one knew where he was. And his friends said, oh, we haven't seen him. And he kind of sing-song, really creepy voice. And so she walked around the schoolhouse building and got one of her more trusted students to watch the front with the rest of the kids. And she found him behind the schoolhouse on the edge of the woods. She kind of sighs, and you can see her breathing is getting a lot faster. And she's very, very upset with this. And she says that she found him cutting a cat with a knife. And the cat died while she was there. The boy was mutilating the cat. And she told him to put down what he was doing. He held the knife up. She said, I'll never forget. The blood was on the knife, and the blood was on his hand. And he had this look in his eyes. It's not a look I've ever seen in a child. And he says, if you ever tell someone I did this, I'll kill you too.
Wow. Holy shit.
It's like the Big Brother in
Was
game.
this the diner evil kid?
Have you asked her?
Yeah.
She says, you mean, oh no.
Okay.
These children are much younger.
Oh, much younger?
It's one of the 7.
I'm just gonna be like,
The older they are, the bigger they are.
Well, 5 days later, that boy was found dead. It was supposedly an accident with the threshing machine, but no one really ever saw the body. The parents just said that it was too damaged to show to people. So it was just really odd that, and then the family, they were upset, but not as upset as you would think they would be over losing a 7-year-old child. It was really strange.
that is strange.
And
What was the last name?
I don't remember because they left.
They left town completely.
I thought it was the trauma of losing their child, but they were gone.
Where's their old house at?
That tells the name of the house in town. The other families living in
And the other kids still around?
the other kids in the group.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, and she says, this brings back to mind something else too. I forgot about this. That, the reason I moved back to Cobb's Corner, I haven't always lived here enough. I'm a fairly new resident. I moved here to take care of my mother. I was a teacher at 2 other schools, and I've never seen a school this size that loses so many children. I mean, children in this town die all the time. I don't understand it. Last year I lost one, and The year before that, I lost 2. It's unheard of. I mean, I have 12 desks. The teacher that I replaced 2 years ago, Mrs. Hunter, she died under very mysterious circumstances. They said that in the middle of the night, she fell down the stairs, but they found her holding a large kitchen knife. And why would a woman be up going downstairs holding a knife in the middle of the night? I don't understand. And she said, I can't, it wouldn't be right if I told you that these children were so young. I really shouldn't even talk about this. I really should. When she says that, it's kind of an odd, I really shouldn't say, shouldn't have said this, I think. Sorry.
Okay, you're safe then.
I have these.
Guys, we have to check this one.
Forget the other missions. Listening.
Really, like, I'm really starting to, like, something might happen to her
I
now.
do have
She's
something
like,
to ask, but I'll wait
hold
until
on.
you find what you're
Think about it.
or what you're looking
She's
for.
giving us a lot of information. So you guys know what happens next, right? He's
He's
gonna
gonna
die.
die.
Like, anybody that I get emotionally attached to.
Stop getting emotionally attached to people.
Yeah.
All right, so the good thing about this is I don't have to cut off the bottom half of these handouts because you guys have already been to that part of the adventure. You'll recognize it. It's the description of the Marines you experience. I think Sam experienced it before. So don't sweat the lower half and go through this piece of paper. But the top halves, and she says, I really shouldn't talk about this. She kind of reaches down into her desk, opens a drawer, and pulls these out and hands you those two. It's okay.
Top ones?
Yeah, top half of these sheet.
I mean, have you talked to your husband about this?
I'm a school mom. I'm not allowed to be married. I mean, it's
That's a real thing.
That was a
true,
real
yeah,
thing at
it's-
the time. I'm just like, oh yeah, I knew that. No big deal. Big
But
one.
like, when slash if are you gonna retire?
Flash does this. Flash does this.
Like, yeah.
Flash's libido dies.
Yeah. No, I'm just like checking the boxes.
No, I'm serious. She is a school mom. She's not allowed to marry. I'm not making that up.
Well, I mean, just because you're not allowed to marry, she's not a nun. You know, come on, guys.
You have needs too, don't you?
Yeah, you have needs.
You need Flash.
Oh god.
Childbearing.
I'm gonna say it if he won't. Like, come on.
Yeah. I'm there for you.
You can replace those missing children.
Funnily enough, had you asked about the husband,
Okay, that was dark. Thank God only Corey heard that. That. Oh God, I crossed the line with that one, didn't I?
Corey and the rest of the universe.
Okay, that was pretty bad. Huh?
Basically, took
Oh
out the
God,
whole
it's dark,
Jesus
man.
thing.
Give
Replaced
me
it with
this.
mother.
You guys are talking about she has childbearing hips, and I was like, yeah, come on, that's a way to replace those children that die.
That's fair. That's very fair. It's dark, but fair. Cannot argue that point.
It's like the worst pickup line ever, man.
I can see him doing it.
I know you lose 2 kids or 1 to 2 kids a year. Let's see if we can replace them at the same rate.
And multiply.
Oh god.
Gets
We could at least try.
Not to brag or nothing, but I'm with a group called the FOC. I'm kind of a big deal.
Lord,
Yeah.
So we pass them around. Everyone's seen them, yeah? All the
Us four.
I was about to say y'all the only ones over there.
Right, but just
I looked
He didn't want to
just
see it
guys.
because he's not a character. He just passed it to him.
do you want these back or can we keep them?
No.
That's fair.
Nope.
at this point, she's kind of like
She's
really
yeah,
encouraging
she's
you
like,
folks to leave. She's just gone through some psychological trauma and recalling some of the things.
Are
that
you
were
gonna
very.
be all right?
Do you
Okay.
ever need some?
Grab their hand.
give us a call.
Yeah. You're gonna be
If you
okay.
need help, right
Pray
there.
for you.
My wife at home will take care of me.
Yes! Yes!
It is. It's like, man. It's just like he knows he's lost at
That's
that
1920s,
point,
it's
but it's still just like,
I can see him too.
All right,
Does she need help also?
Does she? No, because he's not like, no, he knows, like, I like the pink flash. It's just like, yeah, no, there's not gonna mess that up, but she's a very lucky woman. Goodbye. Tears, he walks away.
Flash will take care of himself tonight.
She's gonna walk. Yeah.
We thought James was bad last week. Oh.
Man.
There's always them hobos.
I will let her know.
Yeah, there was the two
Corey.
hobos. They took care of them.
Yeah.
You always have your sister. You know?
So are y'all gonna come back and relay the information to us?
I do not know what the two hobos were. Please tell me what's going on with that one. Do I need
They
to know?
sent two hobos my way, so I'm just
There
like,
were
We
sure, I
had
took
to
care of them.
semi-seduce some hobos to get them to show us where the house we needed was.
You know, and it was another
Like,
week I was gone.
I had to flirt with them to get them to tell us any information, and I
We
rolled
both
a
did.
3.
Yeah, we
So
blew
it's
that
like,
shit
so
out.
where's that house?
Yeah, they seduced these hobos and they sent them my way.
Did Frank read the description of the
Yes.
Yes.
But these two fail at everything.
Yeah,
Hey,
so,
He's a bad reporter.
Yeah, but they like had.
They asked 0 questions, period.
Oh,
So I'm just like hiking up my skirts, like, okay, look how it's done. And I rolled a 3 against these
yeah, we
drunk
didn't know that. We
hobos.
didn't know.
Yeah.
They were nasty. You the description, they were just gross.
They didn't touch us. We didn't let them touch us.
They got them all riled up and sent them.
And we're like, oh,
yeah,
we're
I
too
told
shy to
him
do it in the
to go to where
backyard.
he was staying, and then said, "You're
You
looking
didn't say
for,"
the
and I gave
hotel.
him my name. But I had already said her name was mine before that, so I was like, "This is
So-
Eli Hastings."
Because they were
Just
French
ask for
hobos.
her.
That's in Quebec. So.
Yeah. They smelled and it smelled of alcohol.
Yes.
So, you know, Flash
So he's
is
got some
like,
beautiful
he's
hobos
known the
waiting
touch
for
of
him.
another person here recently. He just hasn't been a
hobo.
female.
Not just another person, a hobo.
Yeah.
A dirty, drunk French hobo.
It's cool. I mean, you know, Flash is pretty. He goes both ways, baby. It's cool.
That's not what we expected you to do, too, but
No, I'll play into it.
I was
I'll play into
I
it.
was expecting you to kick their asses. for coming
Everybody
to try and
gets a
sleep with your
happy
little
ending.
sister.
Yeah.
So do you guys head back to
you
the
had
house
promised.
now?
And do
Okay.
you relay the
These dudes don't break
information?
promises.
So you guys head back to the McLaren farmhouse now?
And relay the information?
I'd say we keep it to ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
There we go.
I suggest that maybe, from my knowledge of the occult, yes, is this allowed?
I also
Based
have
on
high
what you're told?
religion.
And they got the images, so you can use the
Yeah, you
images to with
should-
your
no, they
occult
Yeah, the whole
see if
religion
there's-
thing, you can
Yeah.
use that on the.
You can.
I was
You know,
gonna
if
say, I
you've
got
got,
That's like
60
Sunday
religion.
if you're training the occult and you've got those pieces of paper, you can try to interpret them. Yes,
Okay, should I roll for it or should I just
definitely a roll.
suggest?
I mean,
Can't meta
like
this
your
one.
religion.
I'm looking at these.
Your religion would probably break down the whole Sunday
No,
school.
religion will not. No, that's a cult.
That's a hard success.
It's basically a Sunday school.
Hard
song.
success.
Huh?
Hard success.
Which one did you do?
Huh?
No, I'm just saying. There's no religious.
Occult.
A religious
Hard success.
success will not give you anything.
Okay.
Which one?
This one.
So I'll read it. Did everyone see what it says? Mother loves me, this I know, for others tell me so. They have watched us for so long. When we are little, our brothers are strong. Yes, mother loves me. Yes, mother loves me. Yes, mother loves me. To the others tell me so. Why would a religion not give you anything on that? 1920s God's male.
Others
Yeah.
and mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this in the 1920s, this would not be seen as a religious Christian. So this would not be seen as a Christian hymn. There are in America, no prevalent religious organizations that worship a female.
God's a man.
I mean, this is like,
You
this is
can't tell
before.
me no different.
Yeah, this is before suffrage. I mean, so back then, to hear of a female something you're paying fealty to, it's just like, what? No way, that wouldn't be religion. From an occult perspective, though, this could be seen as some type of prayer to a God you don't know who or what they are. Being just mother tells you it's not Christian, is all you can really ascertain from that. Because they don't describe the mother. They talk about where we are little, our brothers are strong. Don't know who brothers are. What does that mean? But from an occult, this has got some occult significance to you. It's going to pique your interest. The other one,
Can I roll for the other one?
you don't need to.
Okay.
So on this other one, the cloud has no significance to it, but the one thing to notice about the bodies, if you look closely at the dead bodies, what do you see different about them?
There's stuff coming out of them.
There's like blood coming out of them.
The bodies, they're thicker.
Yeah.
They're drawn. There's something different about the bodies as opposed to people standing around.
Oh, because they like circled around it more and went over it
Yes.
more.
Yeah. Well, one of them's not quite as much as the others, but don't know what that means, but there has to be some significance to the fact that the bodies that are not dead are thin, and the ones lying on the ground are thick. You don't get a whole lot from it, but you get a couple things. There's something odd about these pictures.
Small children are killing teenagers.
Maybe. I mean, it could be an age thing. It could be a different social caste. It's hard to say, but there's some reason why the bodies are different. So that's all you really get from this. But yes. So you guys are back at camp. You share things, right? Who's taking first watch tonight?
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I was doing jazz hands.
Yeah, we were both over because I'm messing
He
with
thumbed up,
rubber bands.
but I said, because I was going to volunteer, but.
I'll
Okay.
take first one.
It can be more than one person too. It doesn't have to be one person.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
So you guys take first watch. I'm going to summarize your night and listen to the whole thing for you for react. Okay. So overall, nothing happens directly. While you're on watch, you're going to go to the bathroom. I don't really care if you go together in pairs. It's going to happen regardless. You're going to go more than once. Okay. So first watch is probably about 4 hours. If you only go to the bathroom once in 4 hours, okay, sure. But more likely you go at least twice. So at one point, you don't hear anything, but in the darkness, out from the house, you see movement in the shadows. So there's something moving, and it also goes up. So you see something moving on the ground, and you see something flying. The other point you hear, maybe it's on the second trip, maybe on the same one, I don't really care. There's two instances, however you want to do that. You hear a slight buzzing sound, and it is from the distance, like it's not close. You can imagine a very loud buzz, maybe a mile away. I mean, really, really loud buzz. In that same direction, you periodically see just very dim lights flash and fade out. Sometimes when they flash and fade out, they move. That's all that you see here tonight. Next day, time, 8 o'clock. We'll try to get through one more day. How about that? Same thing. You got the same options. There's no scientific work to be done, so Masterson's going to go out into the survey sites with the rest of the team. So basically, you go back to the
I
survey
relayed
sites.
the information that they should check out the far one.
Okay. And go out that way.
Yes.
Where you heard the sounds and saw the
Yes.
lights. Okay. So they're going to go to the survey site, or some of you go to town. Who wants to do what?
I'll go to the art of body side.
I'll go to the survey.
I'll go to town. I haven't been to town yet.
It's the town of the survey? Yeah, I'll go back to town. I guess.
This is kind of the discussion takes place over breakfast, by the way. This is when we're starting to decide what they're going to do for the day while you're eating. So.
Okay.
I don't go to town. These people hate it.
Well, they don't know me, so they don't hate me yet.
You won't care.
You're here by association.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
the company I'm keeping, it's a pretty bad company, actually.
They don't know me.
I'm gonna do
so I'm going
that.
down.
They go to a nice
Listen, I'll just explain to these people that it's not my choice.
So Selena Preston
Serves you to
had
find things.
Selena Preston had previously gone into town the day before by herself, and she didn't really tell anybody. She kind of was like, "Yeah, well, I went into town late yesterday afternoon because I need to get some more gauze and a few medical supplies for my wounds." And there was so much talk about some crazy farmer.
Yeah.
Did any of you folks who went to town yesterday hear about a crazy farmer?
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
He was like Scandinavian or
We
Ukrainian or
don't know.
something.
She knows where.
Yeah, she didn't tell us.
We should have a farmer that came. They used to come only bi-monthly. Now they've been coming way longer.
Yeah, I think maybe all of you should go see who this person is, because this is someone we don't really know.
So is there an option to go to the farmer's farm?
Yeah, she's kind of telling you guys to. She's encouraging you guys to see the farmer. I mean, you can go on the survey site, You don't have to, but she's encouraging you. If you go to town, you go talk to the farmer first.
She is.
Okay. So you're gonna go on the survey site? Anyone else?
I'll go because, like, yeah, safety in numbers. If you're going to the survey site, like, just so you don't go alone, like, 'cause you never know. Like, right? Okay, I said we're going to town, so then I thought about it because you were the only one who said you were going to the survey, so I'll go with
See,
you.
but my character knows there's going to be conflict if I go to town. And you have to know my character is very non-confrontational if I can help it.
Yeah. But I'm
And
just
like,
saying, in
look,
case you
I'm
go,
equal.
Unless little old ladies with babies probably cry.
It wasn't
Yeah.
real. They came out of thin air. They weren't
She's more of a
real.
danger than any of the Amigo
yeah, well, Flash is just gonna go with you. He'll make up some story, but that's the real reason. He just doesn't want anyone going off alone anywhere because that's how people die. And he's lost enough people. There you come. Okay.
So watch these bad out of the universe and he was like, fuck.
So you two are gonna go to the surveys?
Tell
Survey sites? 3?
It's my sister.
Oh, that's true.
I can't let him out of myself.
It's like, I try to protect people, she tries to protect
I
me.
know, that's why I was like, he's talking about the school arm, so he's gonna go.
I'm only visiting.
And he needs his wingman.
They said quiet ones are wingmen.
I'm not saying that, like,
Nerds are better others, right?
hey, honestly, in the long term, sometimes we're talking about, like, they're men or they're like, girls.
I've never slept with nerd so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's great.
I guess true enough, yeah. True enough.
I'll stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so who wants to go first? Survey people or town people? Or should we say farmer people? So you guys
I'm
are
gonna go
farmer.
to that farmer.
Yeah. You, that's two of us.
Yeah.
Fine.
For you.
We all
I like
go.
that 3 and 4.
Farmer.
That's good.
And
What group wants to? I don't
Go with the smaller group.
Yeah.
Survey.
Okay, so unfortunately the survey day is going to be fairly uneventful. Try to go with the direction, and the lights appeared, the buzzing sound appeared. The survey site you arrive at is again in touch, just like we did yesterday. There's nothing at the survey site out of place or odd, and the team at this point is disappointed. When you're traveling back, you find an area that Masterson swears up and down that the reason the vegetation is being away is because there's some Migo slime here, or Migo slime here. There's no evidence of the slime, there's no ammonia smell. Masterson appears at this point to be searching for straws, grasping straws, whatever he can find. But there is an odd clearing that is not too far from the survey site, that something recently has either cleared out or laid the grass down, or had something heavy lying on the ground that laid the grass down itself. The grass is not right itself back up.
Can I roll a natural word to try to determine
Yeah, sure can.
it? Hard, that's extreme success.
Okay.
6.
So you don't find any evidence of slime either, but there's something very peculiar about the soil. When you start kind of ruffling down through the grass, sort of imagining you're doing examining and seeing why it's sliding down, the grass itself just appears to have something heavy on top of it. But the soil is warm, much warmer than what the sun would want to do. You can dig down a little further into the soil, and the soil is cool and she has the topsoil layer. So this warmth is something that was recently on top of the soil. For whatever reason, the soil retained this heat. So either it was a tremendous amount of heat, which doesn't make sense with the grass not being burned, or there was something natural causing the heat to remain. You don't know which. It doesn't make sense. It is very strange.
Yeah, I'm not sure I got it's a deer. We saw a little deer out of the city.
Well, I mean, the soil would be the point of like heat in the oven type. I mean, like you maybe keep your hand in the
It was scary. It was a deer.
Okay.
It was a deer. The whole pile of deer.
You're gonna nice bar with volatile beer piss.
She's
All right.
a total god about it.
So that's all you folks are gonna get from the survey. So that's the whole day. You know, get more detail, but that's all you really gather from the day. It's very long.
That a deer made the ground really hot.
Yes.
All right, farmer people.
This is how I played her since the beginning. Remember?
You'll be able to go into town and find, you know, you can ask any random person, you can ask me, you can ask Jen or someone, try to get the location of the farmer. The farmer doesn't live in town. He lives in the edge of town. Walking into the farmhouse, it is it's north of town, by the way, and it's dilapidated. It's fairly old, very ramshackle. Someone has just kind of pieced this thing together and kept it intact, but it's not in good shape. There are some odd things about this farmhouse, though. The very first thing you see when you walk up to it, nailed on the door, is a massive, I'm talking like 4-foot tall cross. Christian cross nailed on the door. That's not something you see in this area at all. The other thing you notice is right all around the door, there's long strands of rope that are tied into very large and oddly shaped knots. Who has a cult skill? Make a roll.
Hard success.
Nice.
I got a success.
So if you have any training in the occult, you would and you made a successful roll. You recognize these knots as being ones that are purported to have the ability to entrap and kind of mesmerize or bring out evil spirits. These are like wards to keep things away from the house or trap them if you come in. A lot of these are European in origin, which kind of goes in line with what you've heard of the farmer. You also see around each window there are large, long strands of cloves of garlic and small bundles of purplish flowers interspersed throughout the garlic. You can take either a science, biology, or natural world roll to see if you know what these flowers are.
I'm gonna let somebody else roll it out.
Yeah. Nope. Nope.
I guess I may as well try.
You can also try an occult roll. I'll let you there too.
I can try an occult roll? Okay, then I got it, definitely. Like success,
Yeah.
big time.
Make the occult.
Right, so I mean, you recognize that these flowers are more commonly known as helmet flowers, and there's also monk's hood. Another name for them is monk's hood, but the most common and famous name they're known by is wolfsbane.
That's what I figured it was.
And what do you know what wolfsbane does?
Yeah, you should eat some
It
of it.
keeps away the wolves.
Keeps away evil creatures. Yeah, not just werewolves, anything evil.
Is there
Wolfsbane
werewolves in
does.
this too?
Huh?
I was about to say, are werewolves
No,
in
that's
this too?
unfortunately a modern day thing. Wolfsbane was originally, the reason they said wolfsbane is because back when wolfsbane was really popular, a lot of people associated wolves as a form that evil spirits could take. It wasn't necessarily a werewolf,
Yeah.
but they called it wolfsbane. But anything evil would be more dark about wolfsbane.
Really good there.
So that's what you see as you approach the house.
Okay.
Who wants to go up on the porch?
Me.
Me.
All right. See, what do you do? Like, go up on the porch, and what do you do?
I will knock on the door and let him know that I am a friendly person from out of town that has heard that he has been in town more recently and I am investigating strange happenings in the town.
You can describe it.
Yeah.
So you knock on
I'm
the
just
door.
saying, that's what I'm gonna say. That way he like knows before he opens the door.
Well, when you knock, he immediately opens before you finish
Oh,
knocking.
really?
He was standing there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I say it's like, you know, you kind of like not whoa, it's open.
Yeah.
Here's what he looks like. Late 40s, early 50s. He's fairly short, very grizzled and rough looking, and he's most definitely a farmer. He has the smell too. Black hair, hardly any gray. It is very unkempt, and it doesn't look like he's combed in a very, very long time. He has dark brown bloodshot eyes and large bushy eyebrows that are very ungroomed. He has kind of a wild eye look about him, like her, like kind of that thing. And he's wearing old pants with suspenders. There's a really old flannel shirt. It's very worn. The colors are faded. There's a couple of holes in it. And he has mud-caked boots. I mean, his boots look like he just basically...
Homie's max sanity is probably 45.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. He has a hand-rolled cigarette in his mouth that is lit. He's smoking. And you see a pack of tobacco
What a
in his
man.
pants. Or in his pocket, whatever.
What a guy.
So as you open the door, he asks in a very gruff European accent, you know, what do you want? Why are you here?
We are in town investigating some strange paranormal, like supernatural type things that are going on.
When you say that, he spits on the ground at your feet.
Okay. Well, anyways, especially based on everything that's around your house.
And he makes a hand sign at you. I need you to make an occult roll.
pretty close. Well, I guess it technically would be a hard success. My equal's really high.
So it is definitely a ward, and particularly this is a ward against the evil eye. He thinks you're trying to give him the evil eye when you tell him the story.
I am not trying to give you the evil eye, sir. I promise.
Okay.
I am knowledged in the occult. That's why I know what the things around your house are, and we're just trying to help you and help the town.
And if you cease talking, the first thing he says in very broken English is, "Get off my land or I'll shoot you."
Anybody else want to try?
Well,
Sure. I'm Reverend McLean of Chicago Tribune back in town where I'm from. We just want to know any information you might have on this town.
When you're talking, he turns and goes back behind his door and comes back out holding a shotgun.
Okay, it's time for us to go. We're getting off.
I like that gun.
I like that gun,
He wants it above your heads and shoots at one time.
but okay, I think it's time for us to go.
And again, in broken English, he says, "Get off my yard." Leave.
Okay.
We're back down back. Off is on, but I'm not
Is
leaving.
it bad that I really don't want to leave?
Just as the rules, I mean, I'm going to give you folks one chance, persuade or fast talk, one person.
I'll do it.
Because if you all
I was
start
about to say,
talking,
if
it's
you
going to
have
get
it.
worse.
Yeah, I've got it.
You got it, because I don't got it.
Okay.
Somebody get better than mine.
I got a success.
Okay, so you're successful in the, was it persuade or fast talk?
Fast talk.
All right, so what do you say that would convince him not to try to shoot you?
We are not evil spirits, sir. We hunt evil spirits and try to find out what they're doing to other people. And we're here to help.
And he says, define help. Tell me what you mean help.
Drive the spirits away.
Spirits of the woods or the spirits of the town?
Either or both.
They're different, separate. He lowers the gun a bit.
The spirits of the town.
You are here with the spirits of the woods?
No, we are not here with any spirits. Tell him.
Start playing the
We're not here.
Good time for the fast talk roll.
I got another success.
Okay. So how do you convince him?
We are
you
not-
obviously said the wrong thing.
We're not with the spirits. We are not with the
The
spirits.
spirits we are against are in woods. The Migo are in woods.
Yes,
We are against wood spirits.
Yeah.
Yes, we're against the spirits in the woods.
What do these spirits look like in the woods? You claim to be against.
They leave a yellow goo.
They leave yellow goo.
No goo. Look like, not smell.
So,
I've seen one before.
Remember the octopus swirl?
Show me proof you against them.
I haven't seen one.
No, yeah, this
Well,
guy.
role play it. That's more fun to
That's
role play.
right.
So we'll role play it out. So from this one forward, if you want to turn and talk to them, if you talk to me that we're role playing, talk to someone else you're not.
Okay.
Just to make it easier, okay? Show me proof you against wood spirits, evil. How I trust.
We don't have the dangly bits down.
What dingly bits? You are talking lies and nonsense. You are with the town.
Oh, we are not with the town either.
the town does not like us. Tell him.
The town hates us.
I need proof. And you hear him click.
Oh.
They got ready.
Got one more cell in that thing.
Did anyone bring anything with them? Did anyone bring anything?
Oh, I got pictures of the thing. Of the,
Got
oh
some
wait,
stuff
that's just a
we're
picture.
not there. We're on the site.
Did anyone happen to snag a sample of the goo?
Oh, wait. Didn't I take
If
pictures
any of
that
us
stuff
happen
from
to
the
snag a
office?
sample of the goo, could
Yeah,
you show
these are
them that?
Picture some of
Do
this.
you have a sample?
Yeah, and I hand you a little thing with a sample of goo.
Just so happen.
This
What is that?
it comes from the
Take,
spirits
take
in
the
the
top off
woods.
and let them smell it.
How I know you could get that from town?
Smell.
It's nothing.
It's just piece of ink.
It is just cat piss.
I drink this for breakfast.
Make an intelligence roll.
Why you should let me roll the intelligence?
I got a success.
Okay,
Very good.
so I'm going to give you this one.
Okay.
Last night in the woods, what did they see?
Oh, yes.
Pass me.
They heard the buzzing sound and the flashing lights.
You know.
Yes.
You hear? You see lights?
Yes,
Yes, we saw
you're starting to get a Russian accent too.
He lowers the gun. And he has to tell you a story.
Okay.
He says that he's also seen the lights. He's heard the buzzing. And he's also heard voices coming from the woods north of his farm, and he calls them evil spirits. After he says evil spirits, he says a couple of words in his language. Does anyone here speak any European languages?
I only know Latin.
He speaks French. That's it.
So this is more of a Northern European language. I wasn't sure which. He tells you that 2 years ago he lost 2 of his cows, and then now that about a year ago he found one of his cows slaughtered in the field with the devil's hoof prints all around the body. That's what he says. When he speaks of these things, he's not questioning. He knows exactly what this is. And he says that the evil spirits are the Striga. And
Can I roll an occult to know what that is?
Yeah.
you could ask it to him. You can roll it, pull it, you can ask either one.
What is it?
I want to be able to know without asking him. I want to be impressive. I barely know it, but I know it.
Witches.
Oh, it's just witches.
Like
Okay.
I've heard of that.
This Ukrainian for witches.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, witches.
And then he says that these Striga are convorted with the devil and possibly Moroi.
I got it.
Ukrainian for vampires.
Yeah.
And he says that he knows this to be just absolute fact and truth because some nights he can hear them and he can hear the demons that bellow and roar and howl when they cavort with these witches and vampires, these Striga and Moroi. And he also hears the voices of children. And he's convinced that these children are what the Striga are sacrificing to the devil.
Yes. Definitely children.
Yes.
They happen once a month because it's the Sabbath. And the Sabbath happens once a month. It's usually when there's no moon in the sky, and they've been going on for many years. He's tried to tell the sheriff these stories, but the sheriff never believes him. And now, you know, that the sheriff doesn't believe him and it's about to keep going on, he's convinced the sheriff is part of this group of witches and vampires.
I believe it.
And he tells you to avoid the sheriff and, you know, not to trust him. So the only person who ever believed him was old Jethro Cratchit, who's gone now. That's great.
I love that.
Jethro Cratchit is gone. He's gone now. His widow has told him not to ever come back, to leave him alone. So he has no one. No one else will leave him. And you can kind of hear a hope in his voice that you're probably the first people to come along who actually listen to him to the point that you might believe what he's saying.
I will 100% believe him.
That's what he tells you. That's what's going on.
I believe you. As someone who studies this stuff, I believe you.
He tells you he can show you where he thinks this is about to be going.
Yes.
Okay. Please.
Please.
read all this.
He said he can do it. Awesome, let's go.
All right. So he walks all of you to the back of his farm. And this is the north of the farm is where this is. And he takes you right to the edge of the clearing. And there's just massive amounts of thick undergrowth, bushes, branches, thorn bushes, wires. There's lots of deep mud, and he starts to walk through it. And he's walking through this stuff. It's almost like he's immune to it. This is definitely where his boots have some caked in mud. He's following a semi-path. When I say a path, I don't mean like an actual worn path. But you can see that the branches have been broken down lower, even though they're still there. He's walking through all this mud and thorn bushes and whatnot. They're just ripping and tearing at him. He doesn't care. He's not even noticing it. So you folks are going to walk easily 200 yards. And you come upon a clearing. In the middle of the clearing, there's a small mound. On top of it, there's 5 standing stones.
Oh, that's definitely it.
In the center, there's a block that's lying on its side. And they're about 5 to 6 foot tall. And there's strange symbols carved all over them. So if you want to make an occult or
Yep.
Cthulhu mythos roll. Mythos, you can use this here too.
I rolled a 17 and my occult's really, really high.
Yeah.
So it's a major no occult.
That's a grand.
I will if you want to
Which one are you rolling?
I was rolling a call.
I rolled occult and I hard success.
Okay. These symbols are representations of some type of agriculture and fertility deity. You also notice that the altar has many, many layers of stains of some dark color.
Wonder what that could be.
Say same.
I figured I would kill him
So,
At
at this point, the crazy old farmer.
Isn't your person a geologist? Or was that girl?
That was the old.
I was going to say, geologists like rocks.
though. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, he died.
The farmer at this point introduces himself because this is the point where he realizes he can trust you. He's not only shown you this great secret savant place, you went with him, and when you found it, you didn't immediately freak out. You're actually interested in this. His name is Alexander Crusoe, and he is a Romanian blood. His family of gypsies. He came here as a young child.
I guess I'll introduce myself to him as well. That way it's not just one-sided.
Kind of a kinship on there. He tells you feel free to investigate the area. He's checked it out and never found anything, but you seem to be young and very, very smart. So maybe you can find something you could
Roll is spot hidden around the rocks.
track and spot hidden in two skills you can easier.
We spot him.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm only playing one time. Can I spend 9 luck?
I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, spend it.
I'm gonna spend 3 and
So I
I'm
didn't. I got it, man.
Alright, so we got
extreme.
spot hidden. So there's no spot hidden rules.
Fine.
Okay. So the only thing spot hidden is going to find is buried at the base of one of the standing stones is a child's Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's not spooky at all.
Any tracks?
I mean, I guess I'll roll it, but I don't have anything in track. Ah, definitely not.
No, we're just doing it right now. We're just going to listen. You better watch your hands too.
I failed the track.
No successes on the track? No one has success on the track?
No.
I don't have anything in track.
Either way.
Alright, so that's pretty much all you guys can do for this area. Investigate and check all around.
We can see if we can figure out whoever was with the track and he would come back.
Probably nobody. I made like a younger.
Alright!
Oh, wait. Let me open up the door.
Just be like, here's a big boy, you're a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really loud.
Just like stand up.
Yeah. Slow. You slick son of a bitch. Just in the water. He didn't want to I ran the water, pour the paper towels out. One of these days, I'm going to be just like you.
Looks like I said, looks like I was hurt.
Choose that steadfast.
Alright, so you guys gonna head back?
Wait, so I can't find any footprints?
No.
Well, Hidden can find maybe one footprint.
Alright, this is kind of just figuring out give you one of the track successes. Someone roll me a d4.
Literally one. Well,
One?
are you doing the top one or adding?
Yeah,
The top number of the dice. Okay. On top of the mountain, you find many light footprints, the results of numerous people visiting numerous times. Most are small and mid-sized, obviously the tracks of children and teens, and consequently it's difficult to determine how old they are, possibly to be sense of
It's about time to be killing children.
shame.
Hey,
I've been on board
hey,
with that
people that have been in town, you haven't been handed any pamphlets, have
You
you?
know what?
I'll meet one kid with
No one
a
else went to town.
No, I mean like past times being in town, you haven't been handed any pamphlets, have you?
I'm feeling really generous tonight. I was just looking at the track success. Okay. We're calling it in perception. I'm glad you guys had that. Outside of the stones, around the clearing, you find a huge and deep hoofprint, at least 26 inches across.
Rude.
This guy.
Alright, the next time we'll turn off, we'll turn off everyone will be back at the farmhouse that evening.
I'm just telling y'all, look for some pamphlets.
They're Mormons! No. Jehovah's Witness.
No.
Hope everyone had fun.
Never.
Whatever you did.
We hate this thing now.
How many more episodes do we have?
You just want her to be like.
We're close to halfway through.
Even if she's got time for real, we can say goodbye too.
What are we doing?
Truthfully, I'm wondering when they're going to
Let's bring it.
There's no room for me in that.
I'm hoping I can find out.
Nor would they want.
I can set up. I'll find out.
I just mean,
You know, they want to pretty limited.
almost like playing. That's true.
They've recently released some pretty cool stuff. They released a Roman era. There was a Wild West one came out a month or two ago.
That's pretty cool.
There's another one too. Oh, Revolutionary War. Oh, that'd be like. I can't